Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. All of you? Yes. Are you there, बच्चों? फटाफट कमेंट करो फटाफट. Are you all there? Oh, my boys and girls. Everybody, बोलो. Are you there? बच्चों? All right. Shikha, Shrilaksha, Arya, boys. Shreya, Vaishnavi Shetty, Samhita, Vaishnavi. Okay, good evening, बच्चों. Bharat. Namaste, बच्चों. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you all? Are you there? बच्चों? Yeah, I think it is fantastic audio video over here. Fantastic. Amazing quality. Yeah. All right, चलो guys. Let's go ahead. चलो फटाफट एक बार वीडियो को लाइक कर दो. Come on guys, पक्के से. Without fail बच्चों. कामटे वैष्णवी पाटिल, good evening. Okay. We had बच्चों started with what? Which chapter? Share capital and debenture. So today we are going to finish it off. Plus whatever time permits, I'll go to chapter number 2 and whatever is important, I'll take that part also. है ना बच्चों? Yeah, Shri Raksha, good evening. चलेगा क्या? All of you okay लियो? वीडियो को लाइक करो फटाफट. I can't see the likes yet. Come on, come on, come on. कमेंट के बाहर जाओ, लाइक कर दो जल्दी. गुड इवनिंग सुहाना. सुहाना शेख. ए सुहाना, योर करंट मैच ना सुहाना? May 24. लाइक कर दो बच्चों, वीडियो को लाइक कर दो. चलो आगे बढ़े हम लोग. ओके. I think I already covered yesterday section 43 up to section 51 almost I had covered. Okay everybody, kind of share capital I've seen equity and preference. We have lots of types in preference. Equity we are going to have ordinary as well as DVR. So yesterday but you had seen, please expect a question or MCQ on the criteria to be fulfilled for issuing of DVR. Okay everybody, I also discussed but the purpose of DVR. Somebody of you are asking me, I think Vihan was asking me. So if Vihan, if you're listening, so the purpose is what of issuing DVR, bacho, differential voting rights. The DVR shares will get lower voting rights, but they can get what? Higher dividend rate, okay, compared to others. Okay, Delia? So that is the purpose. वीडियो लाइक करने आया हूँ मैं सर. सुहाना आया हूँ मतलब कौन? Which guy are you exactly? सुहाना, you are May 24. Which batch? Okay, चलो आगे बढ़े हम लोग बच्चों. Okay. So please expect a question on DVR, essentials of conditions to be satisfied for issuing of DVR. समझा? Especially in that 74% is very important. Especially in that 74% is very, very important. That means DVR shares holders can't get voting power in totality more than 74%. ठीक है? आगे बढ़ो बच्चों में. Ready? All right. आगे बढ़ता है. ठीक है? This also we had discussed yesterday, member and shareholder. Then we discussed very important section 47 and 48. 47 is voting rights. I'm just doing a quick revision. Voting rights, but who gets the voting rights? All the equity shareholders, but gets the voting rights. However, preference shareholders, but do not get voting rights that easily or by default. Preference shareholders, but get dividend voting rights when it is a matter affecting their rights, or it is winding up, but or their dividend is pending up to 2 years. Only then, but they get voting rights on all the matters. Clear, all of you? Okay, clear? बोलो फटाफट. हाँ, आगे जाओ मैं. चलो, रेडी ना? हाँ, कहाँ पे हम लोग? Fine. Variation of voting rights. How much you can do the variation? By taking 3/4 of consent in writing or by passing SR. है ना? Sorry. And because of one class, the other classes bachcho's rights are also getting affected. Then what will happen? Then you need to take consent bachcho also of the remaining other half persons. Okay, everybody? 3/4 of that other class. So समझा all of you? Okay, लियो. बढ़े हम लोग आगे बच्चों, बढ़े आगे. चलो, ठीक है. So 48 also we had covered. Then 49, 50, 51 is about calls. Calls has to be done on uniform basis only. You can't just pick up one shareholder and tell him to pay more call compared to others. So it will be done on the entire class or category of the shares. Okay, not person specific. हुआ? आगे बढ़े हम लोग, ठीक है. देन व्हाट एल्स वी डिड? Calls in advance can be kept by company only if it is authorized or allowed by AOA. Increase or not increase by payment of calls in advance. The voting power is increased. True or false? Everybody. By payment of calls in advance, the voting power बच्चों increases or no? True or false? Let me बच्चों. Everybody. Everybody. जल्दी. Come on. बोलो बच्चों. Voting power बच्चों increases. True or false? Answer is no. Voting power does not increase बच्चों by paying the calls in advance. Okay everybody? Good. Very good बच्चों. Very good. Keep it up. झकास. मतलब इसका मतलब है तुम लोग कल ध्यान दे रहे थे. अच्छी बात है. अनीशा गुड इवनिंग बेटा. आई होप यू आर डूइंग गुड. लॉन्ग टाइम. शिखा गुड इवनिंग. चलो आगे बढ़े हम लोग. तनुश्री शेट्टी करेक्ट. ओके गुड बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स. चलो आगे बढ़ते हम लोग. एंड 52 क्या था बच्चों? 51 वी हैव डन. 51 क्या था? 51 किधर गया? 51 you can adjust the calls in arrears. What do you mean by arrears? Due and not paid. So calls in about arrears from the dividend payable. That is simple 51. but हो गया बच्चों. आगे बढ़े हम लोग. 52 simple. Again repeat बच्चों. It is for repetition. Whatever is above face value is premium. Whatever is बच्चों below, if the prices are issued at discount. स्वप्निल मुतना गुड इवनिंग बेटा. गुड. थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग एंड लाइकिंग द वीडियो. धन्यवाद. लाइक कर दो वीडियो को. पढ़ाई करो और ना लायक. आई होप टेस्ट अच्छा गया था तुझको. सबको लेके आ वरना यहाँ पे कमेंट करने को बोल सबको. हाँ व्हाट वाज आई सेइंग बच्चों? दैट इफ the shares are issued at below than face value, then it is what? Discount. More than बच्चों face value, it is premium. Simple tell you. Okay. We are not allowed to issue shares at discount. Simple. But we are not allowed to issue बच्चों what? Shares at discount. Simple. It is not allowed. There are certain just couple of exceptions that we are going to see. चलो आ जाओ. 52 बच्चों very important section from accounts point of view also. Okay. From accounts point of view also. Important. Use of premium received on issue of shares. Now, premium, overall, obviously, whatever is extra you have earned, premium always means something extra that people are willing to pay for. Something extra that people are willing to pay for. That is called as premium. So, where much you can use this extra? You know, this premium. There are only 5, you can say, keys, or you can say 5, you can say options, or 5 solutions, or 5 use of the premium account, SPP. Okay, Securities Premium Account, SPA. Samjha? What are those 5 accounts? You should buy hard them. Otherwise, you should, there is a use in accounts. Definitely. Very rarely a question is asked in a law, but it has बच्चों obviously very practical implication or use in accounts. समझा बच्चों? आगे बढ़े हम लोग. चलो. So SP बच्चों can be used only for 5%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check क्या बोला है पहले बच्चों? Towards what? Fully paid up bonus shares. दूसरा, writing of preliminary expenses. तीसरा, in the writing of expense of commission paid or discount allowed on issue of shares or debentures. Fourth, premium payable on redemption of any redeemable preference shares. And lastly, बच्चों, buyback. Okay. From this point of view, at least from law point of view, this what we should always know is bonus and buyback. I mean, at least that I can tell you. That is important. Remaining other things are used in accounts or in accountancy. It has बच्चों relevance. समझा? All of you okay? आगे बोलो हाँ. आगे बढ़े हम लोग. 53. Restriction on issue of shares at discount. You can't issue shares at discount. If at all you do, but that is void. If at all बच्चों you do issue the shares at discount, बच्चों it is what? Void. समझा के बच्चों? All of you okay? Clear? बोलो फटाफट हाँ. आगे बढ़ूं मैं. चलो. So company shall not issue shares at discount, except in case of what बच्चों? Except मतलब एक exception है उसमें. There is one exception बच्चों. Which one? Sweat equity shares. That means they can be issued at discount. Clear all of you? They can be issued at discount, and that is the purpose. In fact, the you want to give the shares to employee at a very very low rate. है कि नहीं बच्चों? Find clear? Or else it will be considered as void. Now there is one more, however, exception. Check. Company may issue shares. Company बच्चों may issue shares at discount to its creditors when its debt is converted into shares. That is for that बच्चों debt restructuring guidelines are given by RBI. Now please pay attention. If at all बच्चों please pay attention. I talk about balance sheet in T format. Okay, just for the sake of example, balance sheet. है ना? Here बच्चों you going to show creditors. है कि नहीं बच्चों? and or you can see your lender also by that, for that matter, lender. You know, I'm just obviously I'm using very raw language. This is not account subject, okay? So please don't show this diagram to your accounts teacher, okay? Yeah. But whatever, loans and borrowings, okay? Instead of lender, let me use the word lender here, but that is okay. Loans and borrowings. समझा बच्चों? Now I'm discussing this only once so that it has reference. I mean, it will be useful other way around also. And here you have bank balance, you know, bank cash, etc. समझा बच्चों? Now when the company is unable to, when the company बच्चों is unable to pay off the loan to the lenders, bankers, or is unable to make payment to creditors, है ना? That means my bank balance is low or no? Everybody, my bank balance is low, है ना? There is a cash crunch. I am unable to make payment to these people. Clear? So what do we suggest them? That why don't you, instead of बच्चों, what do we say? Instead of taking what बच्चों, capital, or instead of taking but what money, instead of taking cash, why don't you convert your loans or amount due from us into what? Shares. समझा क्या? Are you all understanding or no? That's why we issue them shares. That's why what? We issue them shares. Okay? And it is possible that we may issue them shares but at discount also to pay off the creditors or lenders. Hua bachcho? Everybody? Check. Company may issue shares. So there is, please understand, this is an exception. May issue shares at discount towards creditors. Samjha? When its debt is converted into debt is converted into what? Shares. I hope this is clear. Absolutely, but tell me. There has to be two effect now. So here we are simply are converting from one type of liability to another type of liability. Okay, tell all of you, we are converting from one type of liability to another type of liability. In that case, for conversion, the shares may be even issued at or said to have been issued at what बच्चों? Discount. ठीक है? आगे बढ़े हम लोग? All of you okay? Anisha, Shikha, Arya, Patil, Kamde, all of you okay? So here, Tanushri, Vaishnavi Shetty, Sri Raksha, Samitha, Bharat, all of you okay? Shreya. Those who all others are also, please like the video. एक बार like कर दो यार वीडियो को प्लीज. त्रिशा वालों फटाफट कर दो. तुम्हारा ही चैनल है भाई, है ना? अपने घर का ही है. Sunday I'm thinking, okay, coming Sunday evening I'm thinking to take a RTP and amendment session. चलेगा? Amendment come RTP session. Sunday evening. Timing etc. whatever it is, I'll upload on my channel. Okay everybody? बढ़ेगा आगे. चलो. आ जाओ. Penalty for non-compliance. 53 is okay. Okay, so check. A company officer in default shall be punishable with fine of amount raised through issue of shares at discount or rupees 5 lakhs, whichever is less. Okay, whichever is less. Okay, everybody. So on a higher side, it is rupees 5 lakhs. So please understand there is repercussion. Understand everybody? Whatever amount you have raised of that amount, or rupees 5 lakhs, whichever is lower is will be the fine on company and OID. And company will be liable to pay refund all the monies received because this allotment bacho is void na. If you issue the shares at discount, barabar hai? Along with interest at the rate of bacho what? 12% per annum from the date of issue of such shares till the date bacho you make the payment. What bacho, all of you okay, Nilya? Again underline star marks. These are small exceptions. Questions are asked, and then at times students are wondering from where they have asked the question. Check the restriction of 52 and 53. 52 what your this user premium, and bacho 53 bacho for what? Restriction on issuing and discount are applicable only on shares, but not on any debt products like bonds and debentures. Okay, everybody? So discounts will be bacho not allowed only on what? Less than fees bacho will be not allowed on what bacho? Shares. But issuing a discount and any kind of debt product will be completely valid. 54 star mark. Important. 54 with the star mark. Important. Issue of sweat equity shares. Issue bacho of what? Sweat equity shares. Ready bacho? All of you? So sweat equity shares means such equity shares as are issued by a company to whom? To its directors or employees. Sweat equity shares are mainly meant for their employees. But yes, okay. Then at a discount or for consideration other than cash. Yes, Celia? Then again you have exchanged it. You are exchanging bacho shares. Just like bacho we had seen in case of private placement. Today, not private placement, not today. Yesterday I think we saw that even in private placement the shares can be issued for other than cash. हुआ कि बच्चों ऑल ऑफ यू क्लियर? यस चलिए एवरीबॉडी आगे बढ़े हम लोग। आगे देन for what? For what purpose? For providing their know-how. IPR, intellectual property rights. It may happen that employee or a director, they have intellectual property rights or a patent on a particular product or a facility or a service, or you can say some method, and they are sharing this or they are willing to share this with the company against shares in the company. Clear to all of you? अरे हाँ है ना, बढ़ आ गए हम लोग बच्चों, ठीक है. So check. To whom the shares are given, directors or employees? Which over what price? At discount or for consideration other than cash? Because they are working with the company, na? So they are getting sweat equity shares. Clear? For providing their know-how or making available rights in the nature of intellectual property rights or value additions by whatever name called. There is much win-win. There is give and take. The employee are giving their, you can say, patent or copyright to the company, and in exchange बच्चों company is giving बच्चों them what? Shares. बोलो सबको, सभी को समझा कि नहीं समझा? All of you okay clear? अरे हाँ ना, बढ़े आगे चलो. Conditions to issue sweat equity shares. SR. And allotment bachcho has to be done more within 1 year of passing of SR. Just passing of SR, then you cancel sweat equity. That should not happen. Whenever you pass SR, from there, bachcho, within 1 year, you have to do the allotment also. 1 year time you have, lots of time you have. So that's sufficient time. Resolution to have details of number of shares, your current market price, consideration, if any, that means how much you are charging from those employees, or are you giving them free of cost, details of recipient, that means to whom the shares are offered. Clear earlier? If already listed, then SEBI guidelines will be followed. If they are not listed, bachcho, then Rule 8 will be followed. If not listed, okay? Are you okay with till here, bachcho? Kirti, good evening, beta. Important. Lock-in period, bachcho, is how much? For 3 years. Okay, lock-in period, bachcho, for how much? 3 years. That means you can't sell it, bachcho, for another 3 years. For the purpose of this section, pay attention, bachcho. Ready? Permanent employee means, because you're giving to employees, na? So employee means permanent employee of the company who has been working in India or even outside India. Please underline this word, even outside India. This was a change very many years back, but still, even outside India employee, if it is your employee only, but working outside India, lots of IT companies, bachcho, for projects at times sends the employees to outside India. That is completely okay. It can be for 6 months, 2 years, 1 year, whatever it is. But they're still bachcho employee of Indian company. Samjha? You might have heard of that working visa, na? So on that working visa, bachcho, they have gone to outside India. हुआ बच्चों, आगे बढ़े. In India, or director of the company, or whether a whole-time director or not. Please underline this. Please underline this. Whether WTD or not. Similar employee or director in subsidiary company in or outside India, or बच्चों even holding company will be eligible to बच्चों get or buy sweat equity shares. Very you can say important. I've made a diagram over here. Okay. If you don't, you can check in the diagram over here. M Limited is a company. They wish to issue sweat equity shares. M Limited. First of all, let me just show you how many companies are there. There is M. Holding company bachcho of M is who? P. And subsidiary bachcho of M is who? Q. Is it okay? Is it okay, everybody? Now, M Limited bachcho is going to issue sweat equity shares. So first of all, common sense is what? M bachcho will issue shares to its own employee. But M Limited bachcho can issue sweat equity shares. Are haan ya na, to also the employees of holding company. M Limited बच्चों can issue sweat equity also to employees of subsidiary company. समझ रहे हो सब लोग? ऑल ऑफ यू ओके क्लियर? बोलो फटाफट. अरे हाँ बच्चों बोलो फटाफट. ऑल ओके और नो? चलेगा ना? बढ़े आगे हम लोग. Then value additions. Okay बच्चों, value additions means actual or anticipated economic benefits derived or to be derived by the company from an expert or professional for providing their know-how or making available rights in nature of IPR. Basically, there is give and take. Employee gave some kind of rights to the company, and company in exchange have given shares to that particular employee. But again, validity of SR bachcho, just now we have seen 12 months. Now, limit on issuing sweat equity shares. Please pay attention. यहाँ पे. There were questions asked on this. Please note over here. Okay, please be careful. आ जाओ. Ready? How much maximum you can give sweat equity shares? Ready? Sweat equity shares amount should not exceed amount. Now, whatever price you want to give that shares at, है ना? shall not exceed 15% of paid up capital in a year, or amount of rupees 5 crores, whichever is higher. Okay, whichever is higher. But yesterday only you have done whichever is lower, whichever is higher for big fraud, small fraud. अरे हाँ है ना बच्चों, clearly everybody. समझा क्या? So for example, if PUC is rupees बच्चों 100 crores, if बच्चों PUC is rupees 100 crores of the company, how much amount of worth, how much बच्चों amount of worth sweat equity shares we can issue? How much amount of worth sweat equity shares we can issue बच्चों if the paid up capital of company is 100 crores? बोलो फटाफट. Correct. 15 crores. Because 15% of PUC is बच्चों how much? 15 crores. So 15 crores or 5 crores, whichever is higher. And if बच्चों PUC is rupees 10 crore, then बच्चों sweat limit is how much? Second example is what बच्चों? If PUC is 10 crore, if PUC is बच्चों what? 10 crore. अरे हाँ है ना. So what is 15% of 10 crore? 1.5 crore. So 1.5 crore or 5 crore, whichever is higher. So बच्चों what is higher? 5 crore. All of you okay clear? झकास. Very good. Yes, श्री रक्षा तनुश्री correct. All of you okay ना बच्चों? सिंपल दिमाग में याद रहेगा. ठीक है. So 15% of PUC or 5 crore rupees, whichever is higher. Aggregate lifetime limit. The बच्चों sweat equity share shall not exceed 25% of PUC. Okay, 25% of PUC. Okay, everybody. For startup company, limit is not exceeding 50% of PUC up to first 10 years from the date of his incorporation. Please star mark this. I think in the last exam itself, so I don't expect again exactly in the November attempt, but in May 23 itself, this question was asked. Bhavya, good evening. So especially which it was for a startup company, that how much sweat equity it can do or give. Okay, I think the same question was there in May 23, and I think specifically they had asked for a startup company. That's why I'm star marked over here. Okay, if this question is directly not asked, at least in main question, descriptive, but still possibility for बच्चों what MCQ है ना बच्चों. बढ़े आगे all of you. ठीक है, ready? For startup company, limit is what? ये हो गया अपना. हाँ. So please understand, startup companies can give sweat equity up to 50% of its PUC. The startup companies बच्चों are surviving or saving their outflow, cash outflow only by issuing sweat equity to their employees. If the market rate of an employee is 20 lakhs rupees, I'm just giving you this example, then they are hiring that employee at 10 lakh rupees and telling them we will give you sweat equity shares of rupees 10 lakhs. Okay, everybody? बढ़ गया आगे. चलो ठीक है, all of you okay ले लिया. So please, these limits are important. Any other company 25% max of the PUC, of its PUC, but startup जो company allowed up to 50% only, that also up to the first 10 years of its incorporation. हुआ? बढ़े आगे हम लोग. चलो. Company should maintain register of sweat equity shares in SH3. That is okay. Okay, so SH3. Share capital and debentures as it is. SH3. Chalo. Such shares shall be valued at price determined by registered value. Important. Also, the valuation of IPR, know-how, value addition. That means whatever benefit the company is getting, na? IPR is intellectual property rights to be again done by registered value. That means that justification of price should be there, na? Because let us say the company is not listed, then the price at which the shares are allotted and the benefit the company is getting, who will do the valuation of all of this? है ना? So for that, the valuation which will be done by registered valuer. हुआ गया? चलो. Very important. The holders of equity shares shall rank pari passu with other equity shareholders. That means they have equal rights. Same. Pari passu means what, बच्चों? Equal rights or equal level. That means sweat equity shareholders. Sweat equity shareholders. But they have more right or less right? They have same right. Okay, what did I say? They have what? Same right as compared to any other equity shareholders or ordinary shareholders. हुआ क्या बच्चों? All of you okay here? बढ़े आगे? चलो आगे बढ़ते. ESOP we are going to do later on. 62(1) B or C we are going to do B, I think. Yeah. हुआ बच्चों? हाँ. 55. Issue and redemption or repayment or return of preference shares. Okay. Redemption, repayment, return of preference shares. Ready? But आगे. Redemption means what बच्चों? Repayment. Returning the preferential capital to preferential holders either at a fixed date or after a certain time, after 5 years or a date is committed. Okay, after that you'll get your money back. Okay, usually company is not allowed to return the money to shareholders without permission of the court. That is will be wrong. You know, that first you should always, that is common sense is what? That first you should always keep the money or you should pay the money to creditors or lenders. Only then you can take over the money back. Okay, that is the general rule. You know? A refund of money to shareholders on capital account while the company is in existence requires court's sanction in addition to special procedure. Company limited by shares cannot issue irredeemable shares. Okay, keep that in mind. That is again a rule. Then AOM must authorize its issue. Which issue, bacho? Redeemable preference shares. It can be redeemed after a certain period, max 20 years. 30 years bacho allowed for infra projects. Very important. Please star mark this. Please expect a question on this also. Important. Everybody. ठीक है एवरीबॉडी इंपॉर्टेंट है ये आगे जाओ मैं 30 years allowed for infra projects subject to pay attention now redemption of 10% that means repayment will start at of how much 10% every year starting from 21st year अरे हाँ ना 21st year onwards or earlier on proportionate basis at the option of such preferential shareholders okay everybody बड़े हम लोग आगे all of you okay. So if it is infrastructure company, it requires funds for long-term projects. So repayable, but redeemable after after 30 years is allowed. So normally it is how much allowed 20 years, and but for infra companies how much allowed 30 years. But repayment should start from 21st year 10% each, so that at the end of 30th year everything is repaid. Hua? So redemption can happen only out of the profits of the company, है ना? You can't borrow money to pay off to the preferential holders. Okay. Which would otherwise be available for dividend. It will be free reserves. Which bacho money is available for dividend, bacho what? Free reserves. बच्चों बोलो फटाफट ऑल ओके ना or out of proceeds of fresh issue of shares. No such shares shall be redeemed unless they are fully paid. Common sense. If your bacho not got money only from them, why bacho will we make them full payment na? Okay, common sense or no? So no such shares shall be redeemed unless they were fully paid. Simple deal. All of you okay? Yes? Chalo. If redeemed out of profits, you know, sum equal to nominal. That means if you have to reduce the profits. Okay, everybody. If you have to reduce the profit, sum equal to nominal amount to be transferred to what? CRR account. Capital redemption reserve. Capital redemption reserve. अरे हाँ यार बच्चों all okay? Yes, चलिए. Check section 63 also. 63 का बोनस कहाँ से जाएगा? Do you remember? किधर गया बोनस? है कि नहीं? Do you use it or no, बच्चों? What is the sole purpose of CRR? Everybody? है ना? To become बच्चों what or to pay बच्चों what? Bonus shares. अरे हाँ आगे बढ़े हम लोग. चलो. आ जाओ. Then, if the company is unable, please star mark here. 55.3. If company is unable to redeem or pay dividend, okay, that is what unredeemed preference shares. Company can issue further redeemable preference shares of amount already due, of the amount what already due, including unpaid dividend, okay, and on issue of such further redeemable preference shares, the unredeemed preference shares shall be deemed to have been redeemed we are just continuing with the earlier preference shares. Okay. Have you paid the earlier? Have you repaid or redeemed the earlier preference shareholders? No. Okay, clear. But our time period has gone. Yes. So it is like an extension. It is like extension of the earlier preference shares. It is like extension of earlier preference shares. How do we do that? By issuing further. Okay, by issuing further redeemable preference shares. And once you issue the further redeemable preference shares, so what will be assumed? Okay, that the earlier part has been redeemed. That means it is like a follow on. Follow on means what? Going ahead with the unredeemed preference shares. Conditions: approval of 3/4 in value of such preferential holders is required, and also approval from tribunal. Tribunal may order to make payment to dissenting preferential holders before approving further issue. Okay. Explanation for the issue of please underline the word 3/4, and please also underline the word it will be redeemed as redeemed. When much will be deemed as redeemed? When again further issue is done of redeemable preference shares. Then whatever was not redeemed yet in the earlier part, that will be deemed or assumed as redeemed. हुआ बच्चों? All okay? आगे बढ़े हम लोग. So please underline that 3/4 part. हुआ गया? चलो. Transfer and transmission of securities and the allied provision. That means its related provisions. Ready? 56. Pay attention. There is transfer of securities of a company having share capital. That means pay attention. This section 56 is applicable for which companies? Mainly those who are not converted into demat. Those of them who have not converted into what? Demat. But here, okay, so mainly this section is applicable for mainly now for private companies. Okay, chalega. So when the seller or the buyer or both, pay attention what I'm saying. The seller or the buyer or both do not have demat account. If the seller has, buyer does not have. If the buyer has, the seller does not have, or maybe both do not have. क्या बच्चों? बोलो फटाफट. Demat account. That means the shares are transferred physically. The shares are बच्चों what transferred physically. हुआ बच्चों? All of you okay here? Yes. So what is the process for that? Very important. We are coming to a very important part now. Okay, ready? आ जाओ. So they have to बच्चों what? Sign an instrument of transfer. They have to what? Check. An instrument of transfer should be made between the parties. समझा? Effecting transfer of securities held in physical form. That बच्चों instrument form number is what? SH4. That बच्चों instrument form number is what? SH4. Okay, everybody? अरे हाँ है ना? आ जाओ. Within how many days? Please, when it is a document, it is an agreement. SH4 is an agreement between seller and buyer. Details of seller will be there, details of buyer will be there, the details of shares which will also be there. It will be signed by both the parties. And it will be stamped because you're transferring share na property currently here. And this SH4, instrument of transfer, or you can say agreement or contract, will be submitted to the company. Will be submitted to the company. The reason is why. Why but it will be submitted to company? Because it will be registered or taken on record only by the company. The seller does not have a right, the seller does not have a right to amend or edit the register of members. Only a company can amend or update the register of members. So that's why this SH4 will be submitted to the company, and company if they find everything okay, then they will remove or reduce the name of whom seller and update it with what name of the buyer. सभी को समझा क्या? बोलो बच्चों, ऑल ऑफ यू के लिए. भाव्या, तनुश्री, श्रीरक्षा, समिता, श्रेया, भरत, वैष्णवी, कीर्ति, शशांत, कामठे, जाधव, आर्य, शिखा, पाटिल. हुआ क्या? आगे बढ़ो के बच्चों में? एवरीबॉडी? All right. चलो. With that instrument, okay, बच्चों, with the instrument, what will you also attach? SH4, okay? That sorry, with the SH4, what will you also attach? Certificate of बच्चों क्या तुम्हारा क्या रहेगा उसमें? शेयर सर्टिफिकेट. द ओरिजिनल शेयर सर्टिफिकेट बच्चों ओन्ड और हेल्ड बाय द सेलर. ओके एवरीबॉडी? समझा? आगे बढ़े हम लोग. All of you okay? Within how many days बच्चों will submit this to company? 60 days. Important, very important. Within 60 days बच्चों of signing of the instrument. Again I'm repeating. Within 60 days बच्चों of that signing of the instrument, you will submit this SH4 to company. Okay? Ready? बढ़े आगे. Loss of instrument. I mean, if at all where the instrument of transfer is lost, that means the agreement between buyer and seller happened, but that document got lost. Then this board can, the company can still take it on record by signing or by approving a indemnity bond. Okay, by registering बच्चों indemnity bond. What is the indemnity? What do you mean by बच्चों indemnity? फटाफट बताओ. What do you mean by indemnity बच्चों? Mangalore students, Mangalore. फटाफट फटाफट फटाफट. बोलो 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 बोलो. बच्चों indemnity means what? Make good the loss. है ना बच्चों? Make good the loss. ठीक है everybody? बढ़े आगे. ओके बच्चों. आ जाओ. Section 44 is not part of our syllabus directly, बच्चों. Okay. Section 44 बच्चों simply says what? That shares and debentures are movable property. Okay. Shares बच्चों debentures are what? Movable property. हुआ? आ जाओ. Please by heart this. Company to issue certificate for securities allotted. Okay, or transferred. Securities allotted or transferred. Hatikar madam, good evening. Check here. Company to issue certificate for securities allotted or transferred. Ready, bacho? Please by heart this. Okay, 2216. What is 2216? I have written here. Check. In case of subscriber to MOA, we are talking about bacho, what? The certificate of the share certificate is issued by company to the shareholders. है ना? To whom bacho the shares are given? Check here. Subscriber to MOA. Bacho, aren't the subscriber to MOA the first shareholder in the company? है कि नहीं? The subscribers bacho in the to the MOA. The subscribers to MOA are first shareholders of the company. Clearly here. So when bacho do we have to issue the certificate? Check here. Within 2 months from the date of incorporation. अरे हाँ है ना, कुछ समझ रहा है कि नहीं? ऑल ऑफ यू एवरीबॉडी ठीक है कि नहीं? ऑल ऑफ यू ओके ना? ऑनलाइन सब ठीक है? चेक है. व्हाट डिड आई से बच्चों? विद इन हाउ मेनी डेज? विद इन बच्चों व्हाट? हाउ मेनी डेज you have to submit the certificate of, you have to issue the share certificate by the company. The company bachcho will give the share certificate within 2 months of date of incorporation to those people who are subscribers to MOA. In fact, they are the first members of the company. Clear है? आगे बढ़े हम लोग. चलो. In case of any allotment of any of its securities or any of its shares, allotment. Okay, but what? Allotment. So your company is giving the shares to subscribers or applicants, not subscribers, but applicants. It can be all its type. Means what? Allotment means what? New shares, so IPO or FPO or right shares or bonus shares. हाँ या ना? ठीक है. So within a period of what बच्चों? Again 2 months. यहाँ पर बच्चों तुम्हारा क्या? 2 months. Clear लिया? From the date of the allotment. From the date of the allotment. 2 months, but within 2 months you have to issue the share certificate. Clearly here, this overall entire section 56, but what we are doing is, in case of when the shares are not held in demat. अरे हाँ या ना? All of you okay till here? बराबर है? आगे. In case of transfer or transmission. Transfer means what बच्चों? One shareholder has transferred his shares to somebody else. And transmission is bachcho also transfer, but by operation of law, or you can say involuntary transfer. Because of a legal process, the shares have got transferred from one person to another. Example, death of a shareholder. So in case of death, bachcho, the shares which will be transferred to his legal heir. Or if the shareholder is a company. What did I say? If the shareholder is a company. हुआ क्या बच्चों? All of you okay? बढ़े आगे. आगे. In the case of any allotment, तो ये बच्चों इसका कितना है? 1 month. Check here. Please pay attention. This is important now for you. Within a period of 1 month, within 1 month, from the date of receipt by the company of the instrument of transfer or the intimation of transmission. That means as soon as, okay, the company gets the SH4. But as soon as the company gets SH4, I hope you're understanding what was SH4. SH4 was bachcho, the instrument agreed between seller and buyer. That is the instrument based on which the shares are sold or transferred by seller to buyer. This instrument, the date on which it is submitted to the company, from that day, within 1 month, company bachcho has to issue share certificate. To whom? To the buyer. अरे हाँ है ना? Everybody okay till here? बढ़े आगे? चलो. And debenture bachcho takes lots of time. Overall, the process of debenture is very long or lengthy. So here, when you have issued a debenture or allotted a debenture, from there within 6 months, within बच्चों what 6 months, the certificate should be given, है ना, debenture certificate. Okay, clear all of you? Okay, तो याद रखो 2216. Okay, तो completely starting में बच्चों means 2216. Please keep this in mind. 2216 means initial. Okay, that 2216 is to that you have to remember. But what are the cases for 2216? First is the start of the company. Second, let us say IPO, FPO. Third is बच्चों between members transfer, and बच्चों fourth is what? Debentures. इतना याद रखो. First, what did I say? At the time of incorporation. Second, IPO, FPO. Third, बच्चों what? Transfer within the members, and fourth, debentures. ठीक है? All of you okay? अरे बोलो हाँ. Everybody. ठीक है ना? बढ़ो क्या मैं आगे? चलेगा? Okay. आगे. Please pay attention. This is also important. Transfer of any security or other interest of a deceased person. मर गया. अरे हाँ है ना. Transfer of any security or other interest of a deceased person in a company made by his LR. Please pay attention. LR, I hope I'm using the shortcut word LR. LR are legal representatives. Okay. So if the owner, the shareholders died, the legal representative can still transfer the shares even if the LR's name is not updated in ROM. समझा क्या? I'll repeat. If the shareholder has died, so whose name is there बच्चों in ROM? That shareholder. He died. ROM is register of members. So that shareholder died. Now that बच्चों, the shares of the shareholder, बच्चों of the shareholder can still बच्चों be sold directly by the legal representative, even if the legal representative's बच्चों name is not updated in the register of members. All of you okay here? That is completely valid. So transfer of any security or other interest of a deceased person in the company by the LR shall, even if the LR is not the holder, be बच्चों valid, as if he had been the holder. मतलब मान लिया जाएगा. It will be assumed or deemed that he is the owner or holder of the shares. Okay, or his name is updated in the ROM. That will be assumed. Clear or no बच्चों? That will be what बच्चों? Assumed. Clear है everybody? बढ़े आगे. चलो. Please keep that star mark. Okay, deceased वाला. Rule 11 sub rule 3. All of you okay online सब ठीक है? Company shall not register a transfer of partly paid shares. Very important. Shall not register a transfer of partly paid shares unless we get a consent from buyer. So the company bachcho should send a notice to buyer and ask him, we hope you are aware that these shares are partly paid. That means tomorrow if we require the money, we will demand from you. So we hope you are liable to, or you are able to take the liability. Again, bachcho. So company shall not register a transfer of partly paid shares unless the company is given notice in form, which form bachcho? SH5 to the transferee. To the bachcho what? Transferee. And the transferee has given no objection to the transfer. Transferee means the buyer. He has given no objection to the transfer within 2 weeks from the date of receipt of notice. Clear earlier? That means the seller, if at all, seller has given partly paid shares to buyer. Sold. Seller sold partly paid shares to buyer. Clear earlier? And this SH4 went to company for updation. So company will not update the name of buyer unless it gets confirmation from buyer. So company will send a notice to the buyer. And they will ask, we hope you are aware that you are buying partly paid shares. Clear to all of you? And that buyer has to reply within 2 weeks. For 2 weeks. If he does not reply, the company will not update his name in ROM. Clear to clear, everybody? Forced transfer is always nullity. This is common everywhere, even in Negotiable Instruments Act. I hope this was completely okay with you. अरे बोलो हाँ बच्चों, बोलो all okay कि नहीं? Everybody? The forced transfer effect is always nullity and original owner's name needs to be restored. If at all there is a forced transfer, है ना? We have done that concept in case of what बच्चों? Doctrine of indoor management. बराबर है कि नहीं? है ना? So we have always seen that wherever there is forced transfer or forgery, the effect of that is nullity. So if somebody's name was removed by mistake or purposely or by fraud, somebody's name was removed from ROM, their बच्चों name needs to be restored back. समझा? बढ़े आगे. चलो. This example बच्चों, will you read it for today? This is part of ICS study material also. Reach डालने वाला. This example बच्चों is there in ICS study material. ठीक है? बढ़ो क्या आगे बच्चों? ठीक है? अरे तुम लोग डाउट नहीं पूछ रहे यार कुछ भी. ये should I assume तुमको कुछ समझ नहीं रहा है? हाँ नालायक को. बोलो. What should I assume? You are understanding or should I assume you are not understanding? बोलो फटाफट फटाफट फटाफट. ऑल ओके ना बच्चों? एवरीबॉडी? हो जाना है को बोलो फटाफट. समझ रहा है कि नहीं? एवरीबॉडी? एक मिनट ना बच्चों. वाह 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 आर्य वाह बेटे. फुल ऑन झकास. ओके. सर यू टीच सो वेल दैट वी गेट नो डाउट. वाह आर्य. ओके शशांत. ओके बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स. आगे बढ़ते हैं. ट्रांसफर एंड ट्रांसमिशन बच्चों इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ सिलेबस डायरेक्टली बट यू शुड नो. बट यू शुड बच्चों व्हाट? नो. ओके बच्चों ठीक है आगे बढ़े हम लोग. ओके कामटे बेटा. यस. So transfer is voluntary transfer, but also transmission is involuntary transfer. So just quickly let's take examples of transmission. Okay, you will never get a question on this because this is not part of syllabus, but students do not understand this. That's why I put it in my notes. Okay, transmission. Transmission. This one which is the shareholder has died, so the shares will be transferred automatically or by way of operation of law in the name of the legal representative. If the shareholder is company and the company got wound up, the shares will be transferred, the right will be given to liquidator. Then if the shareholder became insolvent or lunatic, okay everybody, or minor becoming major. So the legal guardian was holding on behalf of minor. So when the minor becomes major, the shares will be transferred in the name of minor by operation of law. That is when you can say by compulsory. है ना? अरे बोलो बच्चों ठीक है ना? नालायको ठीक है? 57 time pass personation of shareholder. Never ever asked, but you can just quickly personation. I hope you understand, है ना? तो somebody is just showing that he is somebody else. So imprisonment बच्चों minimum 1 year. मस्त जेल की हवा खा के आओ. Compulsory vacation है ना बच्चों? You'll get your clothes, free food, free shelter. Nice vacation बच्चों. Okay? No mobile addiction, nothing. है ना बच्चों? Minimum बच्चों 1 year, max 3 years. And fine also 1 lakh to up to 5 lakhs. ठीक है? That is time pass all okay. 58 important section. Important section. इसमें बच्चों will draw a very big diagram, but your brains will be fried, I think. If you've done this before, then it is okay. Otherwise, please pay good attention. ठीक है? बढ़ू मैं आगे. Everybody, आ जाओ. Refusal. है ना बच्चों? Who is this Rakshit? Refusal or of registration and appeal against refusal. है ना? This all section 56 and 50 are related बच्चों, related. Common sense. But what did 56 do? Transfer of shares. So buyer seller agree and they sign SH4 etc. and they send it to company for registration. And now section 58 is saying that company refuses to transfer in the name of buyer. And but here buyer has already made payment to seller. The buyer has made already payment to seller and here company is refusing to register the transfer. So there is obviously a matter of dispute. All of you okay here? How will we solve this dispute? So process of the company to be followed by on refusal to register the transfer of securities. If a company guaranteed by shares, if it's about company guaranteed by shares, all of you okay here? Refuses to register transfer. For example, on the basis of AOA authority, that means AOA does not allow, or the instrument of transfer is defective, है ना? The company shall send notice to the transferor and transferee, both transferor and transferee, within 30 days of delivery of SH4. Please pay attention. First, buyer and seller came together. Okay, everybody, check it. I think I've shown you the example over here. Check here. I think Karthik sold shares to Panna. Okay, and Panna made payment to Karthik. And also both these guys, what they issued, what SH4 to company, that is Teju Masala is our company. Okay, within how many days bacho we have to submit this to the company? Within 60 days of the date of signing SH4, or you can say agreement between the parties. Now when the company gets that SH4, now please check now, within 1 month, within bacho what 1 month, the company has to issue share certificate. Otherwise, if they do not agree, they have to बच्चों send a refusal notice. कुछ समझा कि नहीं समझा? Check here. Again, I'll repeat one more time. Section 56, 2216. Remember 2216. So in case of transfer of securities, अरे हाँ है ना? So within period of 1 month from the date of receiving of that, what बच्चों? SH4. Within 1 month, बच्चों, the company has to issue share certificate. Now, issuing of share certificate बच्चों means what? The company agrees with this transfer between the parties. The company is completely okay with the same. Yeah. But if the company is not okay with the transfer, then it has to issue bachu what? Check here. Notice of refusal. Within how many days? 30 days of delivery of SH4. So same story. The point is bachu here, the buyer, okay, the buyer bachu will be waiting for 1 month, either for yes or either for no. सभी को समझा कि नहीं समझा? The buyer bachu will be waiting for how many months? 1 month, either for yes or either for no. Yes means what? He will get share certificate. But if no means what bachu? Notice of refusal. All of you tell me, सभी को समझा? Please tell me. All of you okay till here? बढ़ेगा आगे? चलो. Okay, Kamte, okay. Arya. So I hope Arya will be telling that to next batches also. है ना? हाँ. Recommend करो बाबा अगले batches के लिए. है कि नहीं? बढ़े आगे हम लोग बच्चों. आगे. The securities or other interests of any member of a public company are generally bachcho are freely transferable. Pay attention now. The securities or interests of any member of a public company are freely transferable. We know this, the shares of public company are always freely transferable. You don't require permission from company. Simple or no? In spite of that, if company refuses to transfer, in spite of that, bachcho, the company refuses to transfer the shares in the name of transferee. Then bachcho, the transferee, star mark, bold, underline, italics. Who can file a complaint to bachcho? Tribunal. The transferee. Mummy. Are hi na. Check, this company is not getting our name transferred. Are hi na. Mia Bibi Razi. Kya karega Kazi? Are hi na. So buyer and seller are okay to exchange, but company is not allowing. How is this fair? So transferee bachcho is complaining to the tribunal. So transferee, please underline this question is asked in MCQs. Transferor, transferee, both or none. Who will complain to tribunal? The transferee. The transferee's बच्चों right is hampered or injured. कुछ समझ रहा है कि नहीं सभी को? बड़े हम लोग आगे बच्चों. ओके, कहाँ पे हम लोग? The transferee may appeal to tribunal against refusal within 30 days if notice is received, or 60 days if notice is not received. Bouncer. Temporarily, but keep that 60 days aside. But if the company sends notice to transfer to both of them, the company will send notice to both of them. So whenever they got the notice, the transferee has another 30 days on receiving of notice. Okay, everybody, to go and complain to whom? Tribunal. समझा क्या? All of you. बोलो फटाफट. ठीक है ना? Check here. I have given you a diagram which is a little bit complicated. Check here. Karthik and Panna are transferee. Karthik was transferor, Panna was transferee. They exchanged and signed SH4. Then from the date of signing of SH4, within 60 days they have to submit the SH4 to company. Now from the date on which the company receives the SH4, if they are okay with yes, they are happy with their transfer, okay, then company will issue what? Share certificate to the buyer. I think in this example it is Panna within 30 days. But if they are not happy with this, they will have to send notice of refusal. Within how many days? 30 days of receipt of SH4. Samjha bachcho? But what if bachcho? Tell me bachcho. Okay, and then this is okay na? And if the buyer is very, very angry, but then when he receives the notice of refusal from that bachcho, again within 30 days, he will bachcho complain to whom? Tribunal. समझा क्या बच्चों? All of you okay till here? अरे बोलो हाँ. ठीक है? Fine. But bachcho, if at all the company had not sent notice, so company is refusing. but company is not sent notice. That means there is no communication बच्चों at all from the company. तो क्या होगा फिर? Then बच्चों what will happen? Then see, initially he had waited बच्चों for 30 days. Agreed? For what? Either share certificate or notice of refusal. But both are not coming. Initially he waited for 30 days. And बच्चों there was no share certificate or no notice. So बच्चों no communication बच्चों at all will be deemed as notice of refusal. No communication बच्चों from the company will be deemed as notice of refusal. From there, within the next 30 days overall. So overall बच्चों what? Overall 60 days. Overall 60 days बच्चों, from within overall 60 days he has to apply to tribunal, complaint to tribunal. हुआ? आगे बढ़ो बच्चों में. चलो फटाफट. Ready? आगे. If it is public company, okay बच्चों, if it is public company, okay, then within 30 days from the date on which the transfer instrument is delivered, the transferee may within 60 days apply to tribunal. Okay everybody? Or if the notice is not received, then 90 days, okay, he has to apply to the tribunal. Please pay attention. Whatever we had over here, 30, I'll just highlight here, 30. About what becomes 60, okay, and whatever we had 60 here will become what 90. In case of which company per? Only for public company. That means you get a little bit more time in case of public company. All of you okay here? All of you ठीक है ना? सब लोग बच्चों फटाफट ठीक है ना? आगे बढ़े क्या हम लोग? Everybody ठीक है? Fantastic. चलो ठीक है. Trisha guys, all of you okay here? भरत, श्रीरक्षा, समिता, शेट्टी, वैष्णवी, तनुश्री, भव्य, समिता. संडे को आरटीपी सेशन लेना है कि नहीं? बोलो फटाफट. कमेंट ऑन योर चैनल त्रिशा क्लासेस. कमेंट. संडे को आरटीपी सेशन लेना है कि नहीं? तुम लोग एटलीस्ट आई कैन सी 10-15 ऑफ यू ओवर देयर. आई कैन सी योर 7-8 पीपल एटलीस्ट. हाँ बोलो बच्चों, आओगे कि नहीं? So you guys 13, 14, 15 around, and this guys around 7-8 I think. I hope there are 20 guys on Sunday. चलेगा क्या? पक्का? डिच नहीं करोगे ना? I will share the link on Saturday itself. समझा क्या बच्चों? गुड. तुम लोग आओगे तो ही बच्चों विल कंटिन्यू, अदरवाइज व्हाट इज द फायदा? व्हाट इज द यूज? है ना? पक्का? चलो आगे बढ़े हम लोग. सो प्लीज रिमेंबर सेक्शन 58 इज इंपॉर्टेंट. एक्सपेक्ट अ क्वेश्चन ऑन दिस. ओके, इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन एक्सपेक्ट करना. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. The tribunal may dismiss the appeal. That means the tribunal may be angry at the transferee that what kind of time pass stupid case you're bringing with us, or maybe order to register. That means it can give a judgment against the company. So it will order the company to register the transfer within what? Next 10 days. And may also impose penalty. Samjha? Okay, everybody? This is not important. That is okay. Hua bacho? So tribunal has to give whatever is the judgment. And if at all he says that no, take a transfer in the name of register the transfer in the name of transferee, register the transfer in the name of transferee buyer, then within 10 days the company has to execute the same. हुआ क्या बच्चों? ऑल ऑफ यू ओके? बढ़े आगे बच्चों, प्यारे प्यारे बच्चों, आगे बढ़े हम लोग. रेक्टिफिकेशन ऑफ रजिस्टर मेंबर्स नथिंग ग्रेट एक्चुअली, नथिंग ग्रेट. रेक्टिफिकेशन ऑफ रजिस्टर मेंबर्स कुछ नहीं है. जिसका भी नाम गलती से लाया गया, इफ द नेम ऑफ एनी पर्सन without sufficient cause, name of which any person is entered into or omitted from ROM, then it can appeal to tribunal. Okay, and whatever is the order of tribunal, that has to be bachcho. If the tribunal says rectify the register, then within bachcho 10 days the company has to rectify the register of members. Hua? It may happen that somebody's name is omitted. I told you that example of original owner, if his name was removed by fraud, then he can go to tribunal and demand and ask that his name be reinstated in the ROM. Hua? बढ़े आगे चलो. Alteration of share capital. But you ready? Alteration of share capital. Important side. Important part of the chapter. Okay, बच्चों? बढ़ो क्या के बच्चों में? A limited company having share capital may alter its capital part of the company. Increase, decrease, same capital but with different face values, Okay, that is consolidation or splitting the shares. समझा? All of this will be part of what? Alteration. Company can increase its authorized share capital, consolidate and divide all existing shares in shares of larger amount. Possible? Yes. However, obviously common sense बच्चों, the voting percentage should not change. A company may convert all or any of its fully paid shares into stock and vice versa. Okay, that power is given to the company. Okay. Again, stock directly बच्चों is not very much part of a syllabus, but yes, you can convert all बच्चों. Okay, but please underline any of the fully paid. Only बच्चों fully paid shares can be converted into stock. Stock simply बच्चों means a bundle. But what does stock mean? It means simply बच्चों what? A bundle. ठीक है बच्चों, आगे बढ़ो मैं. The share is the smallest unit in the capital, that is okay, है ना बच्चों? But stock बच्चों is what? A bundle, collection of shares. हुआ क्या? Check here. What else the company can do? Consolidate and divide all or any of its share capital into shares of larger amount than its existing shares. That is बच्चों consolidation. Check बच्चों example. If the face value is rupees 1 per share, if the बच्चों face value is what rupees 1 per share, then it can convert and say that face value बच्चों will be what? How much now? Rupees 10 per share. Okay, number of shares will reduce. Number of shares will reduce. अरे हाँ या ना? Obviously, number of shares in the company will reduce. Capital still remains the same, but the face value has increased. Clear earlier? That is consolidation. That is what you want. Consolidation, making your shares costly. Clear earlier? And exactly opposite of that, but you will be split. Exactly opposite of that, but you will be what? Split. समझा? Split. हो गया बच्चों. All of you okay earlier? Split. If the face value is 10 rupees, है ना बच्चों, then you want to split it to the face value बच्चों और rupees 1 per share over here. Quantity of बच्चों shares will obviously increase ना. अरे हाँ है ना, the quantity बच्चों of shares will increase in case of split. हुआ? That is also alteration. So one is consolidation बच्चों, other is what? Subdivision. Then a company may cancel shares. A company बच्चों में what? Cancel shares which at the date of passing of resolution is in that behalf has not been taken up or agreed to be taken up by any person. Cancel bच्चों does not will not be treated as reduction of share capital. That is okay. Fine. Notice to ROC to be given to within 30 days of such alteration as per section 64. We are going to do that along with altered MOA. But please underline this. Whenever you alter your capital, you have to give a notice to ROC within how many days? 30 days. Hua? And again, please underline one more part. Now you can convert shares into stock and vice versa. Okay? You can convert share into stock, but by how? Just by passing of OR, ordinary resolution. अरे हाँ है ना बच्चों, वो लोग क्या लिया? ठीक है, आगे बढ़ो मैं सब लोग. अरे बोलो हाँ. So company can convert all of its shares into stock just by passing of OR, ordinary resolution. हुआ क्या बच्चों? ठीक है, आ जाओ. Section 2, further issue of share capital. Important section बच्चों, again important section. Further issue of share capital. Okay. So what are we are going to cover in that? Your right shares, your ESOP, yesterday everybody, and private placement. Okay, all of you. बढ़े हम लोग आगे, आ जाओ. So I'll just quickly give you an example. If the current market price of a share is going on rupees 1,000, if the current market price of a share is going on rupees 1,000, the right shares, you will tell me, you will tell me common sense. The right shares offered by the company, बच्चों, will be higher or lower than 1,000. Will be बच्चों higher or lower than 1,000. बच्चों फटाफट बताओ. All of you tell me. If the current market price of the company is going on rupees 1,000 per share, then the right shares offered by the company will be at what price, lower or higher? Everybody? Correct. Less, lower than 1,000. And but what about buyback? What about buyback? But lower or higher? Same thing. If the company wishes to give offer a buyback, if the company wishes to give a offer a buyback, what will be the price, बच्चों? Lower or higher than 1,000? Yes, Samita correct. Tanushri correct. Bhavya correct. Arya, Shikha, Vaishnavi. Anisha, correct. Shashant, Kirti, correct. Kamte, correct. If it is बच्चों buyback, then obviously the company is offering more price than the current market price. है कि नहीं बच्चों? All of you okay clear? बढ़ो आगे. Okay. आ जाओ. Let's read बच्चों from the syllabus point of view. चलो. Company with share capital. Company बच्चों what? Share capital can issue anytime further shares to. It is something like IPO, not IPO, FPO, further issue. You know? Now please check there are three parts. Please try to buy head only 62(1)(a), B and C. 62(1)(a) बच्चों किसको दिया? Any person holding shares. Any person बच्चों holding shares on the date of offer. Who are बच्चों holding share? That means the current shareholders only, na, current members of the company. So the offer is being given to current members of the company. हुआ बच्चों? B बच्चों किसके लिए? 62(1)(b). Any employees under stock option plan, ESOP, है ना बच्चों? And C बच्चों किसके लिए है? For whom? Check है बच्चों. Any person, anybody. Okay, everybody, anybody. Clear earlier? So let's go one by one. 62(1)(a). Any person holding shares on the date of offer. Ready? Basically, simply you write shares. है ना? I think we discussed this yesterday about renunciation. Renunciation, but we discussed what? Renunciation. Okay. Check here. What did I say? Okay. So right shares बच्चों has the right of renunciation. Okay, that is allowed. Okay. So check. Letter of offer notice to be sent to shareholders who are shareholders as on the date of offer. That is your cutoff date, record date. If you remember, record date. Offer to specify. Offer to specify number of shares offered and the time limit to avail offer. Please underline this again. This is very, 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 very important. Not less than 15 days or such lesser number of days as prescribed, but not more than 50 days. So what will the time period? What will be the time window between which you can offer the you can accept the offer of right shares? You will get minimum 15 days, but maximum 30 days. Okay, everybody, please write down this or highlight this. Okay. Huh. For a private company, lesser time may be allowed. That means let us finish off the right shares offer within 7 days. You know, if consent is given by at least 90% of members. So here, but we had a minimum 15 days. You can just reduce it to 7 days, 3 days, 4 days also. Okay, everybody. Only if it is a private company and the consent बच्चों is given by shareholders. 90% shareholders minimum. हुआ? All of you okay? बढ़े आगे? चलो. Such right shares offer will be deemed to have right to renounce. Important. Renounce means what बच्चों? Give it in the favor of somebody else. अरे हाँ है ना? And the notice will include statement to such effect. Unless AOA states opposite, that is completely okay. That is completely fine. So unless the AOA opposes, every company is allowed to do what बच्चों? Issue of right shares who has a right of renunciation. So right of renunciation बच्चों will be available बच्चों by what? Default. Clearly clear? And you have to mention this fact in the notice. समझा कि नहीं समझा? Okay everybody? बराबर है? चलो. Any employees under stock option plan passed by SR. Okay everybody? So ESOP plan बच्चों, by passing of SR you can give the shares to anybody, further shares है ना? Any person authorized by SR either for cash or for a consideration other than cash. If the price of such shares is determined by the valuation report of a registered value, anybody you are giving a share, anybody बच्चों, either for cash or for consideration other than cash. समझा बच्चों? All of you? तुम किसी को भी शेयर दे सकते हो. You can बच्चों give the shares to anybody. Are clear or no? Okay. So here, but you had seen in private placement, you can give the shares to anybody, but that person's name should be already बच्चों what uploaded or the details should be available. Clear लिया? आ जाओ. In case of an unlisted company desires to issue shares under ESOP to its directors, officers, or employees, है ना? Rule 12 needs to be followed. The company shall make specific disclosure in the explanatory statement and attached to the notice for passing of SR. The company's granting option to its employee must, pursuant to ESOP plan, will have the freedom to determine the exercise price in conformity with applicable accounting policy. That is also okay. The minimum period of 1 year. There shall be a minimum period of 1 year between the grant of option and बच्चों vesting of the option. That means minimum 1 year should be spent by that employee. Only after that he gets the right for those shares. Okay, everybody. Then that means to earn. Okay, vesting means what, बच्चों? Earning the asset. Vesting means what, बच्चों? Earning the asset. That means to earn that shares, he has to work for minimum 1 year from the date of granting of option. Okay. Then the company which will have freedom to specify the lock-in period. That is okay. But again, the employee shall not have any right to receive any dividend or to vote or any kind of any other benefit of the shareholder in respect of option granted to them till shares are issued on the exercise of option. See, he may use the option, but only when he actually gets the shares. But his name will be entered in ROM and then he will get the rights of the shareholder. Okay, बच्चों, ठीक है. बढ़ा गए हम लोग. आगे आ जाओ. The notice of offer of shares shall be dispatched through registered post or speed post or through electronic mode. So here notice we will but not send by simple post, okay? But at least 3 days before the opening of the issue. To whom बच्चों I be sending existing shareholders ना? So at least 3 days बच्चों notice should be given. समझा बच्चों? For passing of that resolution, है ना? आगे. Section 2(3). Exception. Further issue of shares due to conversion of debentures or loan into shares which are not covered under section 62. That is section are not covered under section 62. That is 62 is which is not applicable in such cases. So whatever case we are going to learn now will not be treated as, and the rules which will not be required to be followed of what further issue of shares. समझ रहे हो सब लोग? All of you okay clear? अरे ये लोग किधर गए रे काम पे? अनिकेत, वो कचौरी अपना क्या नाम उसका, यश, पाटिल, पृथ्वीराज, कुणाल. Where are our guys? There are lots of guys in the class, no? Anyone girls, Nidhi Kulkarni and all. वो नहीं आते क्या आजकल? Any idea, any contact? कुछ contact पाटिल तुम्हारा वैष्णवी? Where are your friends? That Sakshi Bandari is there, na? Sakshi. Who else we had? ठीक है. You also guys, the number of students very much reduced. क्या हो गया त्रिशा वालों? Any idea? What happened to them? भरत, तनुश्री, समिता, भव्य, श्रीरक्षा, शेट्टी, वैष्णवी. Okay, self study. अच्छा. No content at all. Okay. Okay, fine. बड़े हम लोग आगे बच्चों रेडी. अच्छा, they are busy in group 2. Classes are going on, Shashant? Group 2 or studies? रेडी बच्चों? चलो लेट्स. ये लोग कमेंट ही नहीं करते त्रिशा वाले. ए त्रिशा क्लासेस यूट्यूब चैनल. What happened? You know, guys are not commenting. क्या हो गया? अच्छा अच्छा, preparation of group 2 also. Okay okay okay. कीर्ति all okay ना? समझ रहा है ना law? Fine. बढ़ आगे बच्चों हम लोग. Check now. Okay, Samita. Debentures have been issued. Debentures बच्चों were allotted. Please pay attention है now. Please pay attention a little bit. Or a loan had been obtained. What is bachcho common between both of them? In both of, okay, or loan has been obtained from any government by a company. So debentures were issued by a company, or the loan had been obtained by a company from government. What is common bachcho between both of them? That money was received by a company. And debenture or loan bachcho both are debt. ठीक है बच्चों? Fine. Now, so who had given the loan? Government. Or who had bachcho purchased the debentures? Government. And if that government considers it necessary in public interest, okay, it may by order direct, and we instruct that such debentures or loans or any part thereof shall be converted into shares in the company, even if the terms of the issue, at the time when you had issued the debentures or taken the loan, do not include a term for providing for an option for such conversion. My goodness, that means bachcho direct jabardasti. Who is doing jabardasti? Or you can say involuntarily, compulsorily, the government is converting the loan which they had given or the debentures which they had purchased into shares of the company. Why? Only and only because of reason of what? Public interest. If they think so, they can do it. Even if at the time of issue of debentures or taking of the loan, such conditions were not agreed or anything, nothing was discussed about it. Still, the government can do it. The government has big power. If the company doesn't agree, it can appeal to tribunal within 60 days of the such government order. हुआ बच्चों? All of you okay? अरे हाँ है ना? आगे बढ़ो बच्चों में. हाँ. When memorandum of company stands altered, again this is also important. Please star mark this. Okay, stands altered and increases authorized share capital. Please, I'll give you an example here. I already given. Let us say बच्चों we had a company here, Moksha Agarbatti company, है ना? Its authorized capital is 50 lakhs and paid up capital is also authorized and paid up are same. All of you okay till here? That means we have already reached at our maximum limit. All of you agree till here बच्चों with me? ठीक है. And issued non-convertible debentures of rupees 10 lakhs. Okay. Who bachcho got the shares or who purchased the shares? The government bachcho has taken the non-convertible debentures. Okay till here? Fine. Okay, everybody okay till here? Now if tomorrow government thinks, but if the tomorrow government thinks we wish to convert this NCD into shares, they can order it. They can order it. Now, bachcho, tell me, this 10 lakhs was bachcho debentures or debt will be converted into capital. Try to imagine the balance sheet. है ना बच्चों? Now here बच्चों what will happen then? The NCD was debt will be converted into capital. But bachcho, do we have any place for capital here? Do we have any scope for capital? No. Because already authorized is 50 and paid up is also 50. So bachcho, what will happen over here? Can you tell me bachcho, what will happen? If NCD bachcho gets converted into share, bachcho, what will happen? What do you think? Anybody? Somebody? Trisha classes YouTube channel. Please comment, guys. Shri Raksha, Vaishnavi Shetty, Samita, Shreya, Bharat, Tanushree, Bhavya. फटाफट बच्चों, सृजन, if you guys are there. 15 लोग के 5 लोग कमेंट करते क्या? I don't know what, I don't understand your behavior. Here everybody comments when I tell them. Very less students personally comment. Sorry. There you go. Yes, alter. Okay. How much? But how much authorized and PUC bachcho will become? How much my authorized and PUC will become? Bachcho will become what? 60 lakhs. Will bachcho become how much bachcho? 60 lakhs. Now my authorized and PUC already was 50, but because of government order, bachcho will go to what? 60. Without bachcho doing the process of section 13 or section 61 alteration of MOA. It will be deemed as alteration of MOA. Because of bachcho government order, we are doing it. अरे हाँ है ना? Clear earlier? Automatically increased. समझा बच्चों? Very good. Very good. the check, the memorandum of the company shall stand altered, and the authorized share capital of such company shall stand increase automatically without doing anything else. अरे हाँ या ना? Clear? Yes, Tanush, correct. I hope this was clear. बढ़े हम लोग आगे. चलो. Okay. Issue of bonus shares. Okay, बच्चों. Issue of bonus shares. So it is obviously free of cost. This you might have done much in capital gain also, है ना? Income tax. The cost of acquisition for a shareholder is what, बच्चों? For a shareholder is what, बच्चों? Nil. है कि नहीं बच्चों? So issue of bonus shares. So the bonus shares are issued proportionally by any company to its current shareholders as fully paid shares free of cost to them. बराबर है? Okay. So condition and manner of issue of fully paid up bonus shares by a company to its members. क्या रहेगा? By a company to its members. Okay, बच्चों, ready? हाँ. Fully paid bonus shares may be issued only through which all बच्चों accounts you can use or money you can use. Free reserves, SPA. This much we had seen in section 52, and CRR, capital redemption reserve. Okay, clear all of you? अरे बोलो हाँ. ठीक है ना? So we have three sources to बच्चों pay off what? Our bonus shares. FR, SPA and CRR. I think you do this in accounts. Tell me बच्चों. बढ़ेगा आगे. चलो. No company shall capitalize its profit. Basically, you can't use revaluation reserve. Simple. Okay? For issuing bonus shares. Simple. Okay, everybody? है ना? Then, the bonus shares बच्चों shall not be issued in lieu of dividend. That means you declare dividend. You can't बच्चों, then in that case what? Give bonus shares instead. Why बच्चों dividend is more preferable than bonus shares? Tell me बच्चों. I think we had discussed in the last lecture. बोलो फटाफट. Everybody, tell me. We had discussed ना बच्चों. बोलो मुझको बताओ फटाफट. Why? बताओ बच्चों. Why dividend बच्चों has more value or preference or priority than bonus shares? Cash. Very good बच्चों. Cash. And please star mark here also एक बार. Fully paid bonus shares can be issued only if AOA of the company contains authorization. Please underline this. Very important. हाँ वो तो है अभिजीत, correct. Bonus price actually reduces the price of the share in the market because supply has increased, so much price goes down. है ना? I mean, immediately in the market, what happens? The shares have doubled in quantity, doubled or whatever. है ना? Whatever number of shares you are actually giving in the market. So because supply has increased, the price reduces. But again, हम लोग. Okay, the company which has announced decision of the recommending board shall not subsequently withdraw the same. Once you have declared the bonus, but you cannot go back on your commitment. Clear? You have to issue the bonus shares. समझा? Did you star mark this बच्चों? AOA authorization. AOA authorization is important बच्चों. Is necessary for what? Issue of bonus shares. हुआ क्या? बढ़ो आगे. 64. Notice to be given by ROC about alteration of share capital. So company shall file a notice with the prescribed form to ROC within 30 days of such alteration or increase or redemption as the case may be, along with altered copy of MOA. Important. Okay बच्चों, all of you ठीक है? बढ़े आगे. अरे बोलो हाँ. ठीक है ना? One of the biggest chapters as such है ना बच्चों? खत्म होने को आ गया चैप्टर ये. डिड यू बच्चों वॉच चैप्टर 7 फ्रॉम माय यूट्यूब? तुम लोगों ने देखा क्या? टेल मी बच्चों, क्या तुम लोगों ने देखा है, देखना पेंडिंग है, बताओ। त्रिशा गाइस, टेल मी बच्चों, चैप्टर 7 कब देखोगे या नहीं देखा? आई थिंक इट इज वो टोटलिटी, आई थिंक और अराउंड 3 hours लेक्चर आई थिंक फॉर चैप्टर नंबर 7, बट अच्छे से लिया है। ओके, ओके शशांत। बड़े आगे हम लोग बच्चों, आ जाओ। रिडक्शन बच्चों, जनरली बच्चों रिडक्शन ऑफ शेयर कैपिटल इज डन ओनली इफ इट इज, यू आर देयर बेटा, लाइव काम अभिजीत, करेक्ट आई थिंक। You and Arya are consistent, correct? Others I don't know. Reduction of share capital. But you ready? So generally reduction is done only when they want to restructure the company. Okay, everybody, or they are you can say over capitalized, or they are making lots of losses. So to make the balance sheet a little bit, you can say lighter, on a lighter note, one of the ways of doing that is what? Reducing of the capital. But just now we say when you reduce capital, that means you are, let us say, giving money back to the shareholders, or yeah, to the shareholders. That cannot be done, macho, without not without court approval. Yes, Celia, that is impossible. That's why the lots of process has to be followed for court approval. And before the money is given back to the shareholders, before that you have to do assurances, or you can say guaranteeing the payment to be done for creditors. So to make ample, you can say reservation, or you can say reserving the money out, so, keeping the money out specially for creditors, and only after that, bacho, you can give it the money to shareholders. Okay, that is what in case of reduction of liability or reduction of share capital. Samjha? So very rarely question is asked, but what is important? I'll do that. Reduction bacho of share capital by SR. What do we require bacho? SR. है ना? So extinguish or reduce the liability of share capital bacho not paid up. If the paid was bacho 7, remaining 3 are not paid up. है ना? Not yet bacho called also. So what the company can do? It will say instead of rupees 10 per share, it will be called rupees 7 per share fully paid up. So basically, it will reduce or extinguish the liability on shares which are not paid up. Cancel any paid up share capital which is lost or unrepresented by available assets. Then pay off any liability, bacho, which is in excess of the wants of the company. Simple. They don't need the capital. है कि नहीं बच्चों? Now I'm not going into this notice or entire process. That is bacho very, you can say, unnecessarily critical. But what is bold over here, that questions were asked or MCQ was asked. Check here. Order of tribunal. See, you cannot give money to the shareholders without permission of the court. That's why here we have order of the tribunal. समझा क्या? So check. Tribunal if satisfied. Tribunal बच्चों what? If satisfied. Ah, that every creditor or debt claim is discharged. Every creditor's, okay, every creditor's debt claim is discharged or secured or consent is received. So may order confirming reduction of share capital. Who is giving order? Tribunal. Only if the claim of creditors has been secured. It is provided that right, no application for reduction of share capital shall be sanctioned by tribunal unless the tribunal will not give the approval. Na? The tribunal will not sanction it unless the accounting treatment proposed by company for such reduction is in conformity with accounting standards specified in section 133. 133, which I hope you know, it is just accounting standards as issued by ICAI, you know, or any other provision of this act, and a certificate to that effect by the company's auditor has been filed with tribunal. Without this, the tribunal बच्चों will never ever sanction the reduction of share capital. समझा क्या? All of you बोलो हाँ. All of you okay? What is important, but I'll take care of that. Nothing in this section that is reduction, but you shall apply to buyback of its own securities by a company in section 68. So okay, 66 but does not equal to 68. In 66 but what are you doing? Reduction of share capital. In 68 but you are doing what? Buyback of shares. Samjha? They are not the same and the process but you do for both of them are different. That's why that's why reduction of share capital but will not be treated as buyback of shares. Both of them but you have different purpose and different process. हुआ? बढ़ा के हम लोग? Okay. Over here again there is no point in going in the process for at least for reduction. जो important है वो करते हैं. इसके ऊपर तो क्वेश्चन आता है 67. Okay, ready? आ जाओ. Restriction on purchase by company or giving of loans by it for purchase of its shares. That means the company is funding somebody. The company is funding somebody to buy its own shares. So obviously no company can hold its own shares. So if it is possible that the control should not go to somebody else, the company is funding somebody else. The company is giving money to somebody else and telling that you buy our shares. The company bachcho is what? It is what you can say funding. So it is as good as what? Control by company only. अरे हाँ या ना? So this is bachcho illegal or not allowed by company. समझा? So restriction on purchase by company or giving up loans by it for purchase of its shares. So limited by shares or guarantee cannot buy back unless tribunals order under section 242 or reduction capital is effected under the act. Public company not to finance others by way of loan, guarantee, security, etc. to acquire its own shares. Which company? Bachcho, public companies. Exceptions. That is, bachcho, company can finance someone to acquire its shares. समझा क्या? Please star mark these exceptions. Very very important. Direct cases are asked. All of you okay till here? अरे बोलो हाँ. Ready? So check there बच्चों. What? 3 exceptions. Ready बच्चों? Lending of money by a banking company in the ordinary course of his business. If you bachcho take loan from SBI, a personal loan bachcho from SBI, अरे हाँ या ना? And you bachcho with that money you buy shares of SBI, that is completely valid and legal because SBI is in the bachcho business of giving loans. अरे हाँ या ना? And then you have bought the loan for whatever purpose you want. You want to buy the shares, and with that bachcho money you bought the shares of the bank. That is completely valid and legal. Okay, everybody okay here? Okay. So lending of money by a banking company in the ordinary course of its business. So your financing is done by the, let us say, company, okay, or sorry, which company, but banking company, and the borrower bachcho has bought shares of the bank. Samjha? That is completely valid. Second, the provision is made by a company for lending of money in accordance with any scheme. So okay, so company bachcho devised a scheme by passing through SR for the purchase of or subscription for fully paid shares in the company or its holding company. If the purchase of or the subscription for the shares or the shares held by trustees, okay, held by specific but for what? For the benefit of employees, or such shares are held by the employee of the company. So again, and the question is not asked on this, but again, if any scheme is formed by the company, so that ultimately the shares are held by the employees. Okay. So for such scheme, the company can sponsor any kind of money or finance the buying of the shares. Okay, everybody? Hua? Then giving of loans by directly now, not for a scheme, but to a particular person. So giving of loans by a company to persons in employment of the company. Please underline bold italics other than its director or KMP. Okay. For an amount not exceeding their salary or wages for a period of 6 months. Very important. In the chapter of deposits, which we had seen. In the chapter of deposits, we had seen. If you take deposit from an employee of more than his annual salary, then बच्चों that amount will be called as what? Deposit. याद आ रहा है कि नहीं? But here, how much of loan amount is allowed to be given over here? You are allowed. The company can give loan to its employee, but employee बच्चों other than directors or KMP. How much बच्चों maximum loan can you give? Not more than 6 months of the salary. Not more than 6 months of their salary. हुआ बच्चों? Not more than 6 months of their salary. हुआ कि नहीं? So for an amount not exceeding their salary or wages for a period of 6 months. with a view to enabling them. With a view to enabling them. Purchase or subscribe for fully paid. Please underline this word. Please underline this word, fully paid shares. That means an employee which going to buy which shares? That which employee is going to buy which shares? Fully paid shares. Yes. In the company or its holding company to be held by them by way of beneficial ownership. Here, the company is sponsoring their own employees. Okay, the company is sponsoring their own employees to buy shares of the company or of the shares of the holding company. But how much can you do the sponsorship? Maximum 6 months of the salary. हुआ क्या बच्चों? Okay. Please star mark these exceptions. Exception number A and C, important. Nothing in section 67 shall affect the rights of a company to redeem any preference shares. That is obvious, that is completely okay. If they are issued as redeemable preference shares, they will be valid and they will be eligible and valid. Okay, the buyback can be the redemption can be done. Buyback. Aja. The following shall not be treated as buyback. Okay. Redemption of preference shares will not be treated as buyback. Forfeiture of shares for non-payment of calls. Acceptance of valid surrender of shares. And reduction of share capital in section 66 which are already covered. है ना? All of you okay clear? बढ़े आगे. Sources of funds of buyback. Source of funds to buyback. क्या क्या? FR, SPA and proceeds of issue of shares or specific securities. That is some kind of new money you have got. New money which you have received. New money. और हाँ है ना? Clear? बढ़ा के बच्चों हम लोग. ठीक है. Conditions for buyback. Important. Authorization by AOA. AOA authorization is required. SR passed in general meeting for buyback. Very important. Exceptions to SR. That means SR is not required. Only BR will be sufficient. समझा? कब? Check. BR is sufficient when the buyback is not exceeding. The buyback amount is not exceeding 10% of paid up plus FR. Okay, please understand this. Write down this. Come on. If you really want. इसको याद रखो बच्चों. कितना बच्चों? Have I written it somewhere? Check here. Buyback is बच्चों. What is this line? Paid up plus FR. Paid up plus FR. अरे हाँ या ना? ठीक है बच्चों? If it is up to 10% of paid up plus FR, the बच्चों BR is sufficient. But if you are going beyond that, the बच्चों you require SR. समझा? You have to take into consideration paid up plus free reserves. Of that बच्चों, if you do 10%, then you can take internal limit. हुआ क्या? Internal approval means what? BR. Otherwise, you require SR. Ceiling limit. Ceiling limit. Not exceeding 25% of paid up plus FR. That means your buyback never ever can go much beyond what? Paid up plus FR. अरे हाँ है ना? Clear till here? Everybody okay till here? And in a financial year, buyback बच्चों of equity shares not to be about 25% of his total paid up. Please understand when we talk about ceiling limits. Okay, please understand when we talk about ceiling limits here and BR SR over here, then what we're talking about paid up plus FR. But when you're talking about a ceiling limit in the year, financial year, which is very important. Okay, in a financial year. In a financial year, बच्चों तो कितना होगा buyback बच्चों of equity shares not to be about 25% of its only total paid up equity share. अरे हाँ, that means बच्चों when we are talking about internal limit, that means बच्चों what when we are talking of internal limit of a financial year, okay, limit within a financial year, तो कितना रहेगा maximum 25%. Okay, हुआ क्या? Debt equity ratio should not be more than 2:1 after such buyback. And so debt should not be more than twice. Debt should not be more than twice than your FR. Paid up capital plus FR. अरे हाँ है ना? Clear? Aggregate debt means बच्चों secured as well as unsecured debts, and equity बच्चों means what? Paid up capital plus FR. Clear everybody? हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? That is okay ना? So secured plus unsecured debt upon paid up plus FR should not be बच्चों more than what? Should not be more than बच्चों what? 2:1. All shares or the specified for buyback are fully paid up. Common sense. The company which is going to pay for it. The which company is not going to what? Pay for it. That they are going to pay for it only if the shareholder had already बच्चों paid fully amount on those shares. हुआ क्या? Okay. If shares are listed, if the shares are listed, then SEBI guidelines बच्चों needs to be followed. That is simple. चलो. Gap between two buybacks. You can't do buyback बच्चों after every 3 months, 6 months. Okay, so check. Cooling period. No offer of buyback shall be made within a period of 1 year for the date of closure of earlier buyback. Okay, please understand. Very important. Okay, everybody understood or no? यहाँ तक समझा कि नहीं? Online, all of you. Trisha classes बोलो फटाफट. All okay? All of you. So once. So can I say there will be much maximum one buyback in 1 year? Can I say that? Because check now, the cooling period will be of how much year? Cooling period is how much? 1 year. है कि नहीं बच्चों? ठीक है ना? So no offer of buyback shall be made within period of 1 year. So the date of the closure of the earlier buyback offer. Understood? If I talk about shelf prospectus, can you tell me, bacho, shelf prospectus, the tenure is 1 year. Shelf prospectus without looking in the textbook. Shelf prospectus, the tenure is 1 year starting from बोलो फटाफट ये सब याद रहना चाहिए. Starting from बच्चों बोलो फटाफट. Shelf prospectus. For the date of opening of first offer. बराबर बच्चों. For the date of opening of first offer. Date of opening, not closing, but over there. Date of बच्चों opening is important. समझा क्या? Very good. यहाँ पे बच्चों क्या रहेगा? Over in buyback. What is the cooling period? 1 year starts from when? From the date of closure of the earlier buyback. Okay, date of closure from the earlier buyback. हुआ? चलो आगे. Time limit for completion of buyback. That means the time when you give the offer to the shareholders and the time by which the shares are extinguished, etc. Every buyback shall be completed but within 12 months. Completion for the date of passing of SR. That means again same thing. The SR is but valid for what? 1 year. Here also in the case of sweat equity, if you remember. है ना? Buyback can be done from existing shareholders. Directly offer is given to them, or from open market directly, but you buy from the market, or securities issued to employees under ESOP or sweat. That means you give offer only to your employees. Declaration is always important. Important. After passing of SR, that it should not happen that you are giving money. Pay attention. It should not happen that you are giving money to your own shareholders, and after that you are winding up, you know, leaving the creditors and lenders without any money. So that should not happen. So that's why after passing a resolution, but before making buyback, the company to file with ROC and SEBI a declaration of solvency verified by an affidavit to the effect that the board has made a full inquiry into office of the company, and as a result, which they have come to opinion that it is capable of meeting its liabilities and will not be rendered insolvent within a period of 1 year of the date of declaration adopted by the board and signed by at least 2 directors of the company, one of whom shall be the managing director. Clear to all of you? अरे बोलो हाँ. What is the concern over here? What is the concern? You are giving money to whom? Macho shareholders and not to the creditors or lenders. That's why the government or you can say ROC and SEBI want a declaration that you will not be declared as insolvent. है ना? Within a period of 1 year, at least from the date of the declaration. समझा बच्चों? All of you okay till here? That is important. So will not be declared as insolvent बच्चों within at least for a period of 1 year. Okay? हुआ? आगे बढ़े? ऑल ऑफ यू क्लियर? चलो, आफ्टर बायबैक, after buyback, company shall extinguish and physically destroy. Important, huh? The shares of securities so bought back within 7 days of the last date of completion of buyback. Many times, which I ask this question in buyback, who is buying? The company is buying. And then second question which I ask is what can company be owners of its own shares? Can which company be owner of its own shares? Tell me, bachcho. Can company be owner of its own shares? Answer is no. Okay, everybody. Answer बच्चों what? No. समझा? कंपनी बच्चों cannot be owner of its own shares. हुआ क्या बच्चों? That's why even if the company is buying the shares, they'll have to destroy those shares. Okay, nobody's holding those shares. Nobody which is not holding those shares. समझा क्या? So, cooling period. Important star mark. Company shall not make a further issue of same kind. Issue आ बच्चों. Now, but we are not talking about buyback here. We are talking about issue. फिर से return. मतलब again issuing the shares, raising money. Not allowed. This will be all time pass ना बच्चों. The company shall not make further issue of same kind of share or other specified securities within a period of 6 months of buyback. कुछ समझा कि नहीं? That means you're buying back equity shares, you again issuing equity shares. This is what will matter what? No, no. So once you buy back, let us say equity shares, then you cannot give again offer new equity shares within a period of 6 months. हुआ? Except. अब except मतलब क्या? By way of bonus issue. Bonus issue allowed? Yes, that is allowed. Or in discharge of existing duties, such as what? Conversion of warrants or stock option schemes or sweat equity or conversion of preference shares or debentures into equity shares. Do you what you want? I mean, have you understood it or bouncer? बताओ फटाफट, comment करो फटाफट बच्चों. Tell me the exception. Have you understood the exception? Tell me बच्चों, have you understood the exception or should I give an example? Understood, bouncer, example कुछ तो type करो comment में फटाफट. Everybody, type something in the comments. Okay, Patil. Check it. I'll give you an example. ठीक है? I'll give you an example. Pay attention. Let us say the company has done buyback in March 22. Okay, everybody? I'll give you an example. Company which has done a buyback but when in March 22. March 22. Now, whenever you do a buyback, after that within 6 months, you can't do further issue. Okay, बच्चों? Can we do check in the next month? When March 22 we have done buyback, in April 22 बच्चों, immediately can we do a further issue? No. Clear everybody? All of you okay clear? Fine. How so? Okay, so for at least for next 6 months we could not do new, fresh issue, but we are talking of exception. We are talking about your exception. That means still in this case, even after this example in March, after March 22, still within 6 months you can issue fresh shares, or you can give shares. How bacho? In case of what? Bonus shares allowed? Yes. So the company decides to give bonus shares in April 22. Is it allowed? Yes, it is allowed. Bonus shares. Okay. Then second example which we are discussing is what? Subsisting what? Obligations. Na? Subsisting बच्चों what? Obligations. बराबर है? Means what? I'll give you example. Let us say in April 2018. Okay, I'm in the still same example. In April 2018, the company had issued convertible debentures. In April 2018, the बच्चों company had issued convertible debentures. So बच्चों, when those convertible debentures will be due now? April 18, na? So for 4 years. So 19, 20, 21, 22. Take it as April only. In April 22, बच्चों, you are due now. What is due? Conversion of debentures into equity shares. अरे हाँ या ना, कुछ समझ रहा है कि नहीं समझ रहा है? Company had issued convertible debentures at when? In 2018 to be converted after 4 years. In 2018, they had issued. So now that subsisting means what? Existing liability is coming on your face now. Or that existing liability or duty is coming over here now. And you have to बच्चों what you have to give them equity shares now when in April 22. कुछ झेपा कि नहीं, कुछ समझा कि नहीं बच्चों? बोलो फटाफट एवरीबॉडी। अरे हाँ है ना, बोलो बच्चों, डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड? So what will happen बच्चों? Even in this case in April 22 you'll have to issue equity shares to the debenture holders because you had committed them earlier only. So in March 22 or you can say April 22, this was an existing liability which you are fulfilling right now. और for that you will have to issue the shares. समझा? Clear हुआ कि बच्चों? This example is not covered anywhere as such, but I thought you should be aware of it. है ना? Clear or no? बढ़े आगे हम लोग? Clear है? Fine. Register of buyback is fine. I think time pass. What it is? The company will maintain a book record of registered buybacks to whom, from whom you have taken the share, this and that. Filing a buyback return. Simply just like what you have return of allotment, you also have what your return of buyback. Okay. So file with ROC as well as SEBI listed a form SH11 containing details of related to buyback within what 30 days of completion. Okay बच्चों, याद रहेगा क्या? बाकी क्या ठीक है, nothing great. Prohibition on for buyback in certain cases is okay. No company shall directly or indirectly buy its own shares through its subsidiary. That means you can't tell its subsidiary or you can't tell subsidiary to sponsor somebody to buy shares of the company or through its investment company. Please understand this is important. If there is any default in repayment of deposit, section 73, remember 73, etc. So there is any default in the repayment of deposit or interest thereon, or redemption of debentures, or obviously interest thereon, etc. etc. Then बच्चों only after a period of 3 years buyback बच्चों is allowed. Very important. That means you can't do buyback. Though again common sense I have told you बच्चों, if the deposit holders payment is pending, debenture holders payment is pending, dividend to any shareholder declared that is pending, अरे हाँ, or any term loan is pending. Clear? So you have not made payment to these guys and you want to make payment to yourself. समझा कि नहीं all of you? Is that fair? Absolutely not. समझा बच्चों all of you? Clear? So that's why buyback is not allowed. And even when you make good the loss, that means you repay to the dividend holders, then dividend holders, then your bank, okay, or deposit holders or debenture holders, whatever money you paid. Even after that, after about 3 years, you will be able to what? Do the buyback in the company. समझा? Buyback of your own shares. हुआ? Debentures, बच्चों, I'm going to do very much short. Whether बच्चों debentures have any kind of voting rights, can you customize the debentures in such a way? Can you customize the debentures in such a way, बच्चों, that you can give the voting rights? Answer is no. Okay, everybody? हुआ? चलो important चीजें करते हैं. Issue of debentures with option to convert, then such debenture into shares, wholly or partly, shall be approved but only by passing of SR. Okay? If I issue NCD, if I issue NCD, non-convertible debentures, do I require SR? Tell me बच्चों. If I issue NCD, do I require SR? बोलो बच्चों. एवरीबॉडी नलायको, सब ठीक है ना? बढ़ेगा आगे? No. Why बच्चों no? If I'm issuing NCD, non-convertible debentures, do we require SR? Answer is no, because in NCD, please pay attention, existing shareholders' voting rights are not sacrificed. But if I issue बच्चों SR, if I बच्चों issues right shares, or if I issue private placement, है ना, over there बच्चों I'll have to pass SR because my existing shareholders बच्चों voting rights are getting sacrificed. समझा क्या? That's why when you issue non-convertible debentures, we don't require SR. But when I'm issuing convertible debentures, I require SR, because ultimately what is going to happen in future, the debenture will get converted into shares. That means the remaining shareholders, their voting right will reduce. That's why we require always permission from existing shareholders, okay, while issuing new shares. And so debentures later on will be converted into share only ना. कुछ समझा कि नहीं? All of you tell me फटाफट. Clear है everybody? अरे बोलो हाँ. बढ़े आगे. बड़े बच्चों हम लोग आगे. No company shall issue debentures carrying voting. Impossible. There is no scope. So here they put the limitation only. Okay, it is not equity share as it is. So debenture बच्चों have no voting right. It is outside the scope of understanding. Then आ जाओ. Rule 18 sub rule 1. An issue of secured debentures, secured, may be made by a company provided the date of its redemption shall not exceed 10 years. Preferential notice, we saw how much? 20 years, max 30 years. 20 years plus, it can also go to 30 years. Secured debentures, what here? 10 years. Normal, but can go up to 30 years for what? Which projects? Infrastructure projects. Are high, the companies which are engaged in what? Infrastructure projects. Hua? Bade aage? So it can go beyond 10 years, but not more than 30 years anyhow. Clear hai bachcho? This, if they are secured debentures, the security for debentures bachcho, by way of charge or mortgage, will be created in the favor of debenture trustee. Hua? This asset is bachcho, I think you do in accounts. Tell me fatafat. Do this in accounts or no? How much amount should be there in DRR, debenture redemption reserve account? Everybody tell me. Anybody? I think that is already covered in your accounts बच्चों, है ना? How much amount should be there in DRR? बढ़े आगे. चलो. A company shall appoint debenture trustee after complying with following conditions. Please pay attention. Here also trustee is required. Okay everybody? Here also बच्चों trustee is required. हुआ कि नहीं? आगे बढ़े हम लोग. Star mark here. The following person shall not be appointed as debenture trustee. Important. Okay everybody, important. Ready बच्चों? We finished a chapter of deposit holders. तब किया था अपने deposit का trustee. That time we have done trustee for depositors. We had done somewhere more depositors. I know. Just check it out. Even for debentures. Even for debentures, we require a debenture trustee who shall not be connected with the company. Who shall not be connected with the company. Okay? If beneficially holds shares in the company. That means a shareholder cannot be a debenture trustee. An existing shareholder cannot be a debenture trustee. Or promoter, director, KMP of the company. Or any other officer or employee of the company cannot be a debenture trustee. Okay? Then he is beneficially entitled to receive money which are to be paid by the company otherwise than as a remuneration payable as debenture trustee. Or, any kind of money is payable to him. Such person cannot be a debenture trustee. Then he is a debtor of the company. What? Debtor of the company. Cannot be a debenture trustee. Otherwise, has furnished any guarantee in respect of principal debts secured by the debentures or interest thereon. Then he has any kind of monetary relationship. Pecuniary means what, bacho? Monetary relationship with the company amounting to 2% or more, at least 2% of the gross turnover or total income or 50 lakhs rupees or such other higher amount which is prescribed. Whichever is lower during the two immediately preceding financial years or during the current financial year. My goodness. Yes, still here. Such person cannot be a debenture trustee. Then is a relative of promoter or an employee of the company. Yes, still here. Hua. Next one. The board may fill, this is done, okay? That is your disqualification of debenture trustee. The board may fill any casual vacancy. Vacancy, I hope you understand what is casual vacancy, everybody. All of you tell me. What is bachcho casual vacancy? Any vacancy caused before the retirement, or you can say expiry of the term of the person. है ना बच्चों? Before he gets actually whatever is his time period before that he retires, that is called as casual vacancy. है ना? So the board may fill any casual vacancy in the office of the trustee, but while this vacancy continues, the remaining trustees can act. Now please understand, when the vacancy is caused by resignation of the debenture trustee, okay, the vacancy shall be filled only with written consent of majority of the debenture holders. Important. Okay. Just similar, but where had we seen this case? Casual vacancy in auditors chapter. If the auditor resigns, bacho, there is a casual vacancy over auditor by resignation, that the board cannot appoint a auditor, okay, in that position without shareholders' approval. Similarly here, very good. Not just resignation, it can be any reason. Death also, insolvency, insanity, anything. Okay, any reason. Okay, bacho, what did I say? Any reason. But if it is resignation, then we have to take bacho approval from majority of debenture holders. समझे क्या बच्चों? Clearly all of you बोलो हाँ. Everybody. हुआ बच्चों? आगे बढ़ूं मैं? Then the debenture trustee can also be removed. See, there are small provisions here and there, so please be careful. Okay, I am only highlighting what are important. समझा क्या? A debenture trustee may be removed from office. Removed also. Removal of debenture trustee can be asked. Okay, from office before expiry of his term, only if it is approved by holders of not less than 3/4 in value of debentures outstanding at their meeting. That means what? The debenture holders can come together, they can hold a meeting and remove a debenture trustee. But how many bachos should come together? At least 3/4 in value, not debenture holders. 3/4 बच्चों value जिनके पास, because see, debentures do not have voting rights, so बच्चों I can't say 3/4 in voting rights. 3/4 in value of debenture holders. They can come together and remove a particular debenture trustee if they do not have confidence in him. समझ रहे हो क्या बच्चों? I hope you are highlighting whatever I have highlighted here. समझा कि नहीं? All of you. बढ़े आगे? चलो. ठीक है बच्चों, डन टिल हियर? हुआ? All of you done till here? Tell me, अपने कंपाइलर में कितने क्वेश्चंस है? If you want the compiler, I think I've already sent you the link. If you still want, you can always message me. The number I've given you here, already below. Yes, still all of you. So whatever we have done till the classes, उसके साथ if you do the compiler, best for you. Compiler. 38 pages for share capital and debentures. 38, but how many pages can you see here? 38 pages. I don't know if you can see or no. 38 pages. Including some question, practical question like this. है ना? Now if I tell this, I will talk about this practical question. It is from which attempt? It is question from September 22. I'll just give you, you can see just a hint kind of. September 22, bachcho. Okay, I don't, you can see it or not properly. This is September 22. But if you look at the following is the extract of balance sheet of ABC Limited as on 31st March. Equity and liabilities are given to you. Reserves and surplus and non-current liabilities. A proper balance sheet is given. Proper balance sheet. Yes. And the question is asked. On 1st April, the company has made final call, etc. The call money was received. Thereafter, the company decided to capitalize its reserve by way of issue of bonus at 1 share for every 4 shares of its 2 existing shareholders. In above case, which of the above mentioned sources can be used by company to issue bonus shares? But that is first question. Second, calculate the amount to be capitalized from free reserves to issue bonus shares. That's what your overall question is of. How many marks? 5 marks. Samjha? A proper calculation is done. Amount of bonus shares to be issued, amount that ought to be capitalized, amount available, and hence how much we can capitalize. Clear till here? All these questions are there in the compiler. Samjha? So please expect practical questions also from, or no, practical questions also in your examinations. So almost 30 मतलब कि almost 40, almost 75 questions रहेंगे इसमें. Yes, still here. So around 60 to 70 questions I have only of this chapter given in the compiler. Again, one more question. Please expect these questions, okay? Check karo. The Silver Oak Limited has following balances in the balance sheet. Okay? Check such kind of questions here we have. Okay? Equity share capital दिया है, FR, SPA, CRR and revaluation reserve. Whether company can give bonus shares in the ratio of 1:3. What if the company decides to give bonus shares in the ratio of 1:2? 6 marks question. Clear till here? All these बच्चों answers are given here in my compiler. समझा बच्चों? हुआ? So you wish to buy the compiler, let me know, okay? You can comment, you can send me a message on my WhatsApp, which already number you can see on the screen. समझा बच्चों? आगे बढ़ूं मैं? Shall we do then one more than chapter? कौन सा वाला simple वाला करें अपन? Not simple. Which one you want to do? 30? Chapter number 2 करेंगे हम लोग, चलेगा बच्चों? So tomorrow बच्चों we can touch upon GCA and interpretation. जनरल क्लास एट एंड इंटरप्रिटेशन चलेगा क्या? बताओ फटाफट, कुछ तो बोलो बच्चों, बोलो 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 बोलो. हुआ क्या? बढ़ो मैं आगे. कामटे यू फिनिश टुडे ना, यू हैव द कंपाइलर. ओके, बड़े हम लोग आगे बच्चों. आगे किधर गए हम लोग, कहाँ पे थे? हाँ, चैप्टर नंबर 2 इनकॉर्पोरेशन चलेगा. आ जाओ. What is important, I'll do that. Section 3 is time pass, nothing great. It all I'll just quickly discuss with you. It all talks about what minimum number of shareholders should be, how much OPC 1, private 2, public 7. Clear till here? And section 3 which also talks about suffix. Private limited or limited for public company बराबर है. OPC you write in bracket you write OPC, and government company बच्चों need not use only suffix. समझा? आगे 3A important. 3A बच्चों important. समझा बच्चों? 3A is important. आ जाओ. What is 3A? Members severally liable in certain cases. Okay, if during the business, anytime you're doing the business, the company is running, and if by chance your number of members comes down below 2 in case of private company, or below 7 in case of public company, and still you continue business. And with what, still you continue business. All of you okay till here? Are you understanding with me? Are bolo ha? Clear? What did I say? If your number of members come below 2 in case of private company, or below 7 in case of public company, and the remaining members still continue the business, the remaining members still continue the business for more than 6 months. For more than 6 months. Okay, for more than 6 months. So whatever is the liability बच्चों of after 6 months, whatever is the liability after 6 months, अरे हाँ या ना, that will become personal liability of the remaining existing shareholders. कुछ समझा कि नहीं समझा? Clear? So whatever the liability of the company after 6 months will become personal liability बच्चों of the existing whatever is the short number of shareholders or members. Clear? If you understood, then tell me understood. If you want example, let me know example. समझा? You can type example if you want. पर कुछ तो टाइप करो. Either give me thumbs up for understood or example in the comment. Clear? All of you. Trisha classes, फटाफट. ओम बेटा, how are you बेटा? आज तो बराबर 12 घंटे की क्लास हुई है मेरी. Morning 8:30 I have inter regular batch. 8:30 up to 8:30 I'm having my inter fast track batch. झकास. Om, how was the test? Okay. Trisha classes all okay? बोलो फटाफट. तनुश्री, श्री रक्षा, भरत, कृति. ओके, चलो आगे बढ़ूं मैं. ठीक है. OPC, टेल मी बच्चों. आई होप यू आर ऑल completely aware of OPC, है ना बच्चों? एवरीबॉडी कैन बच्चों NR बी OPC मेंबर? फटाफट. NR नॉन रेजिडेंट बच्चों, कैन इट बी OPC मेंबर? यस. कैन बच्चों NR बी नॉमिनी ऑफ OPC? यस. ओके एवरीबॉडी, हुआ? But still, when will you call that NR and resident? 120 days. If he's there in India for 120 days in the last year, you'll call him as resident. Otherwise, you'll call him as non-resident. But what is compulsory? Indian citizen is compulsory. Okay, everybody? Hua? Chalo, fatapat, quickly we'll do. Uh, can a member of OPC become nominee in another OPC? Answer is yes. Can a member in OPC become nominee in another company? Yes. Can a member in OPC also bachcho becomes member in another OPC because of death of that other company's owner? Okay, member of one OPC becomes member of another OPC because of for another bachcho OPC he was what nominee and he became bachcho member. Then within how many days bachcho you have to rectify the situation? Within bachcho what 180 days. Are hai na? Then bachcho within 180 days you have to rectify the situation. Clear? Clear? Which businesses are not allowed for OPC? NBFC. Okay, non-banking finance companies. This business bachcho is not allowed for OPC. Can bachcho OPC invest in securities of any body corporate? Can bachcho OPC buy shares, debentures, or anything bachcho of any body corporate? No. Okay, everybody. OPC cannot do that. Then bachcho, can you open an OPC as a Section 8 company? Can you bachcho start an OPC bachcho as a Section 8 company? Answer is no. Can you convert OPC into Section 8? Also no. So there is bachcho no connection of OPC with Section 8. They're completely different or separate. Then, can a minor be member of OPC? No. Can a minor be nominee of OPC? No. Neither, not even in a beneficial capacity. समझ रहे हो? So minor and बच्चे OPC no connection at all. हुआ? बड़े हम लोग आगे चलो ठीक है. Section company बच्चों this is done I think very simple. Arts what all बच्चों objects can be what all बच्चों objects can I take as Section company for Section company बच्चों? What all बच्चों objects can I take for Section company? Anything बच्चों promotion of arts, commerce, science, religions, social welfare and environmental protection etc. अरे हाँ या ना? Yes चलिए fine. Sectional बच्चों company will use what suffix? It has no suffix. It will simply बच्चों write in bracket what sectional company if at all. They will not use the suffix private limited or limited. They are actually limited companies, but they will not use the word suffix. They will not use the word suffix in. They will not use the word. They will not use the word anything private limited or limited in suffix. हुआ बच्चों? Then, Section बच्चों company cannot amend their MOA AOA without government approval. याद रखना. Very important. Okay. Section बच्चों company cannot amend their MOA AOA without or alter their MOA AOA without government approval. Clear? Then a license will be issued by government for it to be called as sectional company. हुआ? Then other point which are very important. If the license is revoked by government for any reason, the reasons are important obviously. If the company bachcho does not follow contravenes any of the provisions of the Section 8 or it is acting harmful in public interest, है ना, prejudicial to public interest. Yes, tell everybody. Or does any fraud, the government bachcho can cancel the license. अरे हाँ है ना, the government can what? Cancel the license. वो बच्चों वो बच्चों everybody okay clear? And another thing, again, if the government thinks so, it is important in public interest that not just cancellation of license is not important. Okay. Sorry. If the government thinks just cancellation of license is not important, the government bachcho can do what? Amalgamate the company with another Section 8 company. अरे हाँ है ना? Amalgamate the company with what bachcho? Another Section 8 company. But which Section 8 company? Whose bachcho object matches with this particular company. Oh God. हो गई तबीयत खराब. Oh God. Okay. Whose object matches with your Section 8 company. समझा everybody? So check here. Having similar objects. Important. So you can't amalgamate Section 8 company with any random Section 8 company. You have to check the objects, and if they are matching, only then you will merge these companies, amalgamate. Okay. To form a single company. Sorry, बच्चों. हुआ everybody? Section 8. What are one of the relaxations given to Section 8 company? one of the relaxations given to such a company. Sorry. Is what, bachcho? You can call the meeting within 14 days notice. You can bachcho call the meeting within what with what bachcho just 14 days notice instead of 21 days. हुआ? बढ़ गया हम लोग बच्चों. MOA. Again, not very important from examination point of view, honestly. Sorry. Okay, because these things are already kind of done in foundation level. I'll just quickly check if anything is important. All time pass. Yes, name clause. Okay, what's your name clause? Then some names are undesirable. Sorry. So rule 8B, please by heart kind of, or please understand these names are not allowed. Or you can't utilize this name bachcho in these words in the name of your company. Unless government approval is given. Okay? Sorry. Oh God. हुआ? All right. Check bank, stock exchange. Sorry. Insurance, these words you cannot use unless you get what? Permission from the regulators. है ना? बढ़े आगे. Reservation of name important. Important बच्चों आ जाओ. Reservation of name. Rule 9. Whenever a new company is coming into existence, the name bachcho will be reserved for 20 days. The name bachcho will be reserved for how many days? 20 days. Okay, you have to first apply for name. And only once the name is approved, you can put that name bachcho in your MOA, AOA. So for how many days the name will be approved? 20 days. ठीक है बच्चों? But if you are an existing company and then bachcho you wish to change the name, अरे हाँ है ना? If you are an existing company and you wish to change the name, then the name will be reserved for 60 days. Please keep these 2 days in my mind. 20 days new company and 60 days old company. Yaad rahega. Very, 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 very important. This is also important. If it is which you found that the name was applied giving wrong information, okay, then obviously there will be penalty on the people who have reserved the name. Sorry. There will be penalty on the people who have reserved the name. Okay, everybody? But also the name will be cancelled. Or the name was reserved now. It will be what? Cancelled. हुआ? आगे बढ़े हम लोग बच्चों. Domicile clause, object clause is okay. See, doctrine of ultramarine is बच्चों already covered in foundation है बच्चों. So don't, I mean it's not a very big thing, but you should know it as basics. ठीक है? Sorry. The schedules, please understand. Schedule 1 of companies that talks about MOA and AOA formats. These are also called as model forms. Model means a standard. तो first 5 A B C D E बच्चों are for MOA and next 5 are for AOA. ठीक है? आगे बढ़े हम लोग. AOA. Do you remember बच्चों entrenchment provision? Entrenchment, anybody? All of you tell me फटाफट. Do you remember बच्चों entrenchment provisions? Entrenchment. आ जाओ. What is बच्चों entrenchment? So it is to specify what we have to underline or by heart the line. Specified provisions in AOA. So some बच्चों provisions in AOA can be altered only if the conditions or procedure more restrictive than SR are met with or complied with. Okay, that means if at all you have to do something more, if at all you have to do something more than SR, and only then the AOA can be amended, then such provisions or such condition is put as or called as what? Retrenchment provisions. See, normally you can amend AOA just by passing SR. Normally, what you can Normally बच्चों what you can amend AOA just by passing what SR, but here just SR will not be sufficient to amend AOA. In that case बच्चों it is called as such rules is what you called as entrenchment. बच्चों why do we require this entrenchment provisions? Basically बच्चों it is mainly for protection of promoters or persons who are started the company, so that बच्चों they are not thrown away from the company. समझा क्या बच्चों? बड़े आगे हम लोग, ऑल ऑफ यू क्लियर? और बच्चों बोलो हाँ. आगे बढ़ेंगे हम लोग एवरीबॉडी. नाउ व्हेन कैन बच्चों इंट्रोड्यूस द एंटरटेनमेंट प्रोविजंस? ओके, इधर गया हूँ. Check here. Only at the time of formation. That is point number one. But if you want to introduce or put these conditions of entrenchment later on, after incorporation, then it depends whether the company is a public company or a private company. If it is a private company, but then but you require 100% approval. You require but 100% approval from all the members. Only then you can but you introduce the entrenchment provisions, entrenchments. Okay. But if you're a public company, then you require approval from at least 75% members. That means by passing of SR, but by passing of SR, you can put what entrenchment provisions. Samjha, all of you? All of you clear? बच्चों बोलो हाँ. ठीक है ना? इंपॉर्टेंट है बच्चों, इंपॉर्टेंट है. आई थिंक आई हैड गिवन यू द डायग्राम एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट बच्चों, लिख के सब दिया था मैंने तुमको, है ना बच्चों? बढ़ू मैं आगे. इंटर मैनेजमेंट बच्चों प्लीज कीप दोस 3 थिंग्स इन माइंड. एक्सेप्शन क्या क्या तुम्हारा? नॉलेज ऑफ इरेगुलरिटी, नेग्लिजेंस. बाहर कर लो ना इसको, बाहर कर लो बच्चों. नॉलेज ऑफ इरेगुलरिटी, दैट मींस यू आर अवेयर दैट द कंपनी इज इरेगुलर. सेकंड, यू आर केयरलेस, दैट इज रेकलेस, दैट इज नेग्लिजेंस, है ना? एंड थर्ड बच्चों फॉर्जरी. प्लीज आई एम टेलिंग यू ऑनेस्टली, इवन इफ यू राइट समथिंग इनसाइड व्हाटएवर कच्चा पक्का, but the main answer, the heading is correct, you will but you still get good marks. Samjha everybody? You can explain something in your own language inside, but these 3 points are important exceptions to doctrine of Indo management. Hua? Everybody okay? 7 is time pass, found guilty, etc. Okay everybody? If you have any doubts, please message. I think I've replied to some of you. है ना बच्चों? कुछ डाउट रहेगा तो प्लीज आस्क मी. I have drawn a diagram over here for section 12, registered office. Okay everybody? Can you tell me the importance of section 12, registered office? Importance of section 12. Everybody? Can you tell me the importance of section 12? Registered office is required to maintain, it is compulsory to be maintained all the times. You have to maintain most of the important books of accounts and books and records at registered office. And are you very good to determine the jurisdiction of the company? To determine what the jurisdiction of the company, that means where will you file the case against the company? Where will you file the case against the company? You know? So you will file the case in that court under whose jurisdiction the company's registered office is situated. Okay, so in simple language, wherever is the company's RO, registered office, over there, whichever is the court, over there only you can file a case against the company. Samjha bachcho? All of you okay? Now, if the company wishes to change the registered office in local limits, are हाँ है ना everybody? तो बच्चों only board resolution is required. If it wishes to change beyond local limit, then बच्चों compulsorily SR is required. बच्चों what compulsorily SR is required. समझा बच्चों? हुआ बच्चों everybody? Now, if it wishes to go beyond its local limits and by change of ROC, then बच्चों for change of ROC, बच्चों whose permission do we require? RD. regional director. Clear? And if बच्चों, if at all you are going beyond the state, then बच्चों government approval is required. है ना बच्चों? CG approval is required. Clear to all of you? अरे बोलो हाँ, समझा कि नहीं? All of you okay till here? Yes. So I tried to cover बच्चों almost most of it. I hope companies that was useful, helpful to you. It is impossible to cover each and every provision that way. है ना बच्चों? But please watch lecture number 7. That is very, sorry, chapter number 7. That is a very big chapter, which I have already covered on my channel. Okay, everybody. Yes, मजा आया? चलेगा ना बच्चों? So please अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो, मस्त पढ़ाई करो. अभी खाना खाओ, है ना? Have your dinner. Rest for some time. 9:30 बच्चों start your syllabus. And whatever question answers you want to do, please finish off. Yes, Kamte. Outside state whenever you go, Section 13 is applicable. Why? Because Section 13 talks about alteration of MOA. And MOA talks not about this registered office. MOA talks about state in which the office is situated. So if you're changing the state, that's why it is alteration of MOA. That's why it is Section 13. So if you're changing the office within the state, it is not alteration of MOA. That's why Section 12 only is applicable. Okay? Sorry. Okay, bachcho, all of you okay till here? Tomorrow we'll cover General Clauses Act and Interpretation of Statutes. Till the extent I can help you, at least we'll finish off that, na? Again, bachcho. Okay? Remaining, all of you remain in touch. That is very important. I hope all of you have subscribed to my channel also, you know, and taking benefit of all GST, income tax, costing, accounts, whatever is going on. You know, bachcho? Yes, Arya, I'll be okay. है ना बच्चों? All of you okay till here? करोगे अच्छे से पढ़ाई? Fine. चलो, all of you बच्चों मस्त पढ़ाई करो. See you tomorrow again at 6 p.m. Okay, everybody? कुछ डाउट रहेगा तो प्लीज send me a message. Okay, all of you? Stay in touch. I hope you already downloaded the app. App download कर लिया बच्चों मेरा? I know, हाँ, I know अभिजीत. 5 दिन में हो भी गया अपना, 4 दिन में मतलब. Whatever number of days we had, correct? I hope bachcho you already downloaded my app and you are doing over there what? Free tests. So there are lots of MCQs for income tax also to try. So please do that. Download the app. I have sent you the link of compiler. That link itself is bachcho also the link for downloading the app. So kar lo. Okay, everybody. There are also my income tax summary notes in free material somewhere. Once you download the app, you'll see the free material. So in free material, but you will see income tax folders are there. So in income tax, you'll see summary notes. Okay. Outside the folder, that means in home section somewhere in the option, you'll see free test. That is for MCQ. Samjha? And over there also in the store, but you have compiler. You wish to buy, and if you think it will help you, I think it will help you obviously. So plus you can take the compiler also for the studies in the last month. Samjha? But don't delay because printing and courier takes time. So once you order, you will get it but after almost 5 to 7 days. So if at all you're doing it, please decide and purchase if you want immediately. That is your choice. Okay, everybody? है ना? So guys, chalo, all the best. See you tomorrow at 6 p.m. And please tell others to join the lectures. Na? That was nice. We had lots of students from the first series or first lecture. So that is nice. Whoever were there. Okay. So please share the video. All of you, please, Trisha students, please share the video on your status. WhatsApp status. Hai na? And our guys, please share my video. Trisha students share Trisha channels only. Okay. Other students, bachcho, please share our video on your WhatsApp status. Hai na, bachcho? All of you okay till here? मैंने फिर हम लोग बच्चों टुमारो विल मीट है ना. चलो आई होप यू हैव योर गुड टाइम. स्टडी अच्छे से बच्चों मस्त है ना. यू विल डेफिनेटली पास. यू विल हैव ऑल द गुड ब्लेसिंग्स. डेफिनेटली बच्चों, यू विल डेफिनेटली बच्चों पास. जस्ट गिव बेस्ट ऑफ योर नेक्स्ट 30-40 days है ना बच्चों. है कि नहीं? डेफिनेटली बच्चों है ना बच्चों. यू विल गेट गुड रिजल्ट. प्लीज गिव योर बेस्ट. Sacrifice everything else now. That is most important. Okay, everybody? चलो गाइस, गुड नाइट, बाय बाय, सी यू, शब्बा खैर, शुभ रात्रि, जय हिंद दोस्तों। बाय शिखा, शशांक, आर्य, कामठे, पाटिल, यस, अविशा, श्रीरक्षा, श्रेया, तनुश्री, वैष्णवी शेट्टी, कीर्ति, समिता, बाय बाय गाइस, गुड नाइट, टाटा टाटा, बाय 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 बाय। अबे बच्चों, गुड नाइट, या बाय गाइस, गुड नाइट।